Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Minecraft Monday, week number 6. We're live here from the UMG studio. Myself, Lennon Lano Sanders, joined in part by the regular ensemble. It's becoming a normalcy at this point. But like we said, it's got reflections and 9 whole grains here today. Gentlemen, some more mini games. We're kind of throwing a few more into the mix. But how are we feeling today coming into it?
Always good to be here for Minecraft Monday, right? We got another week coming through, week number 6. It's crazy to think that we're already here in the 6th week, man. It flies by.
It does fly by. It's gone so fast that now we have stories. We have our regular cast of characters. You said the normalcy of the two of us, but the normalcy as well of a lot of these teams. I think this is the most consistent team week to week that we have seen, or in terms of the cast of teams, rather.
Yeah, right. Like I said, I mean, the storylines have been building. Our conversations have only begun. As soon as we get to the studio here today, we're obviously preparing, getting everything ready to go. We're already talking about, oh my gosh, like this team is going to be playing with this guy, or how are the stats going to be lining up for a few things. It's always going to be fun. Let's go and take actually a look at our game modes coming into this week, because we've talked about it, we've discussed it. There are 2 new ones being added in here in Kit PvP and Build Battle. But to kind of run through them, obviously game number 1, going to be continually having that Hunger Games sandwich, if you will. Dropper will be played for game 2. Find the button for game 3. As we talked about, Kit PvP being added in for that game number 4. TNT Run for Game 5, Lava Run for Game 6, always a fun one. We've also added in Game 7 Build Battle, which I'm kind of excited about it. We'll obviously talk more along the lines of the game mode, how it works, how you earn points, etc. as time goes on. But to round things out, we've got Spleef playing for Game number 8 and Hunger Games for Game number 9. And in terms of the game modes, the maps rather, for Hunger Games, we're starting off on SparkCity. And for Game 9, we're also going to be going toward Orient. Let's go and take a look now at our participants coming into today's action. And guys, as we take a look at our first page, interesting things to note, some surprises, I guess, if you will, in terms of the team combinations. What are our thoughts right now?
I mean, if I'm looking at it right, James Charles, always great that he's back playing with Connor Eats Pants. It's going to be an interesting duo, to say the least. You know, we have Slat playing with Technopig. Now, that's going to be an interesting talking point pushing forward, because Nine, I know you kind of mentioned it. This is one of the best partners he's had in quite some time.
Yeah, Techno's slowly been climbing back up the ranks of partners, starting with Chris 02, then James Charles last week with Connor. Now back to Schlatt, and we've seen Schlatt make some plays in the individual games that I know on his YouTube channel earlier this week. Techno said he was very excited to team with Schlatt. So, you know, Techno always a threat to be in the top 3 almost single-handedly. Now might have a little bit of a chance, but take a look at Team 6 as well. Captain Sparkles and Bajan Canadian. My nostalgia meter's going off the charts for that team alone.
Yeah, right. I mean, just to see those two guys together, it was just a matter of time, I guess, if you will. I know Bajan was having a difficulty trying to find a teammate coming into this week, and Captain Sparkle said, you know what, hey, I'll volunteer. I'll happily volunteer for the man that has had a number of different top placements. I know he actually suffered the worst one last week, but still averages around like a 6th overall placement. Has placed top 3 multiple times. Excited to see what they can do. And also team number 5, right? Travs and C-Scoop, they're always in the mix, right? They've consistently been a top team to look out for, defending champions themselves. We'll see what they can kind of do coming into today's action. Also squads like Jerome Filza, Preston Log.zip, a number of different ones to be looking out for.
Also Jerome Filza, right? I want to see them make a good run, because we kind of been talking them week after week, and unfortunately they have not had the opportunity to finish up in top 5. So I want to see them kind of, make their way through and do a better job than what we've been seeing.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go and take a look at our next page of participants. And starting things off, Skeppy, Bad Boy, Halo. Taylor was already talking about it. This is going to be his dark horse coming into the tournament, despite
I wasn't going
a
to say it
championship
live.
win. But I mean,
really
hey, this is your sleeper pick, right?
Honestly, obviously, right, first place last week, they performed considerably well week after week, and I expect a lot from them as a duo. My dark horse, I'm actually going to pick a dark horse this time, all right?
Okay.
Let's be fair, XQC and Moxie. If their call-outs are anything like last week, I think they're going to do even better this week, especially the fact that we're not going to be having bingo. We're adding in some new PvP modes. I think that is where XQC is going to thrive, Moxie as well. And let's not forget, right, whenever it comes to TNT Run and Spleef, these guys did considerably well last week. I expect a lot out of them from this week, and I would be happy if they place top 5.
Okay, I think that's solid to choose from. I think it was 9th last week is what they finished off in, so definitely a team to look out for. Any teams on this particular page that you're looking at, 9?
I'm really curious about Team 16. These are both new players here, and I did a little research. John Bams and Papa Latte here, both very experienced in Minecraft. If you look at John Bams' YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, anything like that, it is all Minecraft all the time. And we've seen, some content creators come in, and we're not quite sure how they'll do in these PvP modes. Maybe they're rusty. We've seen rusty players do pretty well here.
Apparently.
Looking at you, Preston. So I'm really curious to see what they'll do. We also have a team here at the end, Rec, DJ, and Forginal. Last week, we saw our last second edition team, Fire Breath Man and Player, almost take the whole thing. So I'm just, by default now, anytime a team gets added in last second, assuming they're going to do well.
I guess one team that I have my eye on when it comes down to this week, and I guess you could say maybe my sleeper team, but just a team I'm more excited to watch out for, Vikkstar and Zerka, right? These are two guys who are involved with the Sidemen. For obviously those who know Vikkstar, know his YouTube channel. These guys have been or rather, they've kind of been friends for the longest of times. They've played a number of different games with each other, ranging from GTA to FIFA, and obviously here to Minecraft. So I'm excited to watch those guys kind of duel it out. Now, I don't know if this is going to be like a championship type contender, but I think they may have the capability to do so.
I mean, Vikkstar's obviously, anytime he's in the mix, he's always going to be one of those top contenders that you have to be worried about. And honestly, spanning across multiple titles as well, whether it be Minecraft or Fortnite. He's played in several of our tournaments, to say the least. So him playing again today is great to have him back. I expect a lot out of him.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of, let's go and talk about the elephant in the room, if you will, right? Techno J-Schlatt. That's the conversation that everyone wants to have right now is how is Technoblade going to play it out? Because he's gone from 2 first-place finishes to 3rd, 4th, 5th. Can he rise back up in the ranks? Obviously, he's still been a phenomenal player. I think in overall player points, he was 2nd, just underneath Fire Breath Man coming in from last week, around the 780 margin, something along those lines. So definitely kind of close to the top player. But now he's got J-Schlatt on his roster. We were talking about it, and you mentioned it, 9, right? He's kind of confident with this team, probably one of the best players that he's had in a very long time. Expectations for placement. Are we thinking top 3? We even thinking competing for that 2nd place, even 1st place position? What are our initial thoughts when we look at these two?
I think top 3.
Okay.
I do. I think that this is a very stacked number of teams that they're going to be playing against. Of course, Travs and C-Scoop, as well as Bad Boy, Halo, and Skeppy, meaning that it's going to be difficult to fight for that top 3 position, but I think that this is Techno's chance. If he can't make it work with Schlatt, where else do you go from here? They're not going to give him one of the star players.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, they're not, right? I mean, that's just, they've totally been, I wouldn't say against, right? They just had to nerf Techno at some point, because, I mean, the thing, if Techno was with somebody, like, good every single week, you have to be thinking like literally every week would be the same, because he's one of the most consistent players, one of the top earners in score overall across the board whenever it comes to any of our games. Last week, he scored 832 points with Carson. Carson, I don't even think he ended up playing all 9 games. No. On top of that,
it was sabotage. It was sabotage.
He was trying to sabotage Techno the entire time, but the fact is they still scored 832 points. First place was 1,096 with Scappy Bad Boy Halo. If J-Schlatt comes through, especially like they're in Spleef, Run from the Lava, right, or games like TNT Run, he scores maybe 100 points here, 100 points there. Definitely top 3. I agree with you. Definitely in contention.
And I think it's important to note, too, that if they do a little bit better in the PvP modes, that'll change things up. I mean, I know at the end, it was such a triumphant ending where we saw Technoblade beat Fire Breath Man and Player single-handedly at the very end, but they did horrible in this first one. You saw right there, Carson got taken down. Techno got taken down as well. They scored 0 points in the very first Hunger Games. We've talked about it. This is where you scored the majority of your points. So, again, if they're able to do something early on, you have to assume that they'll at least get top 3 or so. But it is the elephant in the room. It's what we're going to be talking about a lot. And you have to talk about it here. A perfect 3 for 3 Techno was on TNT Run, which had never been done before.
I'm going to ask another question in relation to Technoblade, the man who we have on our screen, and obviously the narrative kind of continues based off the teammate that he has. We do have 3 current players that have won 2 championships in total. Is this the week that we see a 3rd? And if that's the case, who is more likely of doing so, right? Is it more likely that we see Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy make it forward, or could it be Technoblade with another teammate again? Like we talked about, maybe a better start in the PvP. Everything's kind of different because that's the overall discussion that we have to have. We've also been in the conversation of these new game modes that are being kind of added, the change up in terms of modes, points, etc. that could maybe come to bite Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo. But at the same time, right, you have a teammate, even in just little courses like this, right, when it comes into Dropper, just those few extra points made the difference, and it seemed as if last week Techno didn't really have that. So all things considered, more likely scenario, are we seeing Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy walk away with it, or the most talented player in Minecraft Money. Can he get it done with Jay Schlatt?
Well, when it comes to Jay Schlatt, he's going to be obviously the deciding factor whether or not Techno moves forward and he's able to take over his second victory. When it comes to the game modes, though, we're adding in, right, Hunger Games is obviously where Techno thrives at. Now we're adding in Kit PvP, another PvP mode where I know we're going to have to be favoring, of course, him going into it, Techno going into it. So with that being said, Techno is going to have a much better week here, even with Jay Schlatt, than in previous weeks. But Skeppy, Bad Boy, Halo, Scoop, Travs, these are guys we still have to keep in the running, right? Because these are talented members. They're still playing together. They've been together for quite a few weeks in a row. So I still favor them overall. But if Jay Schlatt can perform well, I think, honestly, we could see Techno win this thing.
And there is one other former champion that's currently out here right now that we aren't talking about, and that's Preston and Log.Zip. They were in the top 5 last week as well. Preston, again, a top 6 scorer. I think that if they had maybe gotten through that jump and run from lava, where Preston was outpacing Techno of all people, that's an additional 10, 20, even 30 points that they could have gotten to maybe put them into that. I think that another week with Log.Zip might put those two up into another level as well. And we can't discount a former champion. We can't.
That's true. As long as Preston's not rusty this week, I think he'll be okay.
Or maybe if he is rusty this week.
I'm not sure like what we should kind of generate that toward. Would it be like, is Rusty Preston better? Is it maybe not the case? Who exactly knows? But I know we're having a few issues trying to get the game started. Like I said, we're going to try to get everybody in here as soon as we possibly can. But guys, we're going to throw it to a little break. In the meantime, feel free to get involved in the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag MinecraftMoney. Let us know in the chat who you think maybe is your dark horse, maybe even a team that you think has the capability to win this. Is it maybe the conversation that we had? Can Techno find his third? Can Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo be repeating champions while also finding their third as well? A lot of conversations to have, but make sure to be involved in the chat. But we're going to go through a quick little commercial break. When we return, it's time for some Hunger Games.
Everything is new in love, stronger than the both of us. Together we can spark a flame and freeze the world to numb the pain. I just wanna feel what I feel, what I feel when it's just you and me. I'm falling on my knees just to see if I can still bleed. 'Cause with you I'm superhuman. Hope it's not a grand delusion. So keep me in this state of mind. Tell me that it's real life. 'Cause with you I'm superhuman, superhuman.
Checking for a pulse. I'm breathing deeply. Think I'm zoning out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Minecraft Monday week number 6 as we are live here from the UMG studio. Myself, Lando, joined in part by Reflections, 9 Whole Grains. Guys, in the commercial break, we were talking about how influential the game modes are coming into this week, how things are kind of changed up, how things have kind of started to separate a little bit, because that's what's one thing that we have kind of shifted around is where you're earning the points, when are those times starting to come about, and with kit PvP being added in, which I know a lot of people are kind of familiar with that one. I know it's kind of a fan favorite on YouTube, at least in years prior. This is going to be fun, right? Because this is another opportunity to earn those points, to earn that massive kind of change up. And with it being kind of in that list of game number 4, I think it's going to be one of those situations, and it kind of was previously in terms of Battle Arena, the moment where those teams who specialize in PvP, that's their opportunity to really kind of carry along. Like we look at different esports, and a lot of teams are kind of one-minded, if you will, or really kind of rely on one particular strategy. This is the game mode, right? In the midst of going from dropper to find the button, it's nice, but it's not going to earn as many points as a game mode like Kit PvP will. And to quickly run through those points, right, it's going to be 5 points per elimination, 30 points for first, 20 points for second, and 10 points for third. And you basically have the opportunity to earn 5 points per elimination. 25 elims in total is going to first. So that's a lot of points that you can easily start to rack up if you have a good moment.
It definitely is a lot of points, right? We talk about our top scoring games. I think Kit PvP is going to be one of them. Hunger Games is obviously the top scoring one. But you can earn a ton of points TNT Run. You can earn a ton of points in Spleef because you're outlasting people. If you have yourself along with your teammate, right, 1 and 2, if you guys are the ones at the end and you outlasted everyone, that's at least 30-plus points going to not only you, but also your teammates. So that's 60 points. And if you go on a run like we saw Techno do for TNT Run last week, winning first place, imagine if Jay Schlatt comes through and he's able to consistently finish second place, Techno with first or vice versa, they're walking away, what, 369, a total of maybe 180-plus points for both of them.
It's a lot of points, and again, I'm really glad that we have these modes a bit more spread. I know in the past we've had Find the Button, and then we had Bingo as our games 7 and 8, and those aren't really interactive games.
Exactly.
You cannot prevent your opponent from getting points. And we've always said in Bingo, what, first to fifth is even, and then sometimes sixth place would get 80 points where the winner would get 90 points. So now that Spleef is later on, that means we're going to be seeing big changes even later on, and I think that's what we wanted, and I think that is, again, why it's changed so much.
And that's one thing that I like about Minecraft Monday is that, like, each week, and we were even talking about this in the breaks and whatnot, is that it's always improving. It's always trying to change itself up a little bit and trying to fine-tune it to get the very best format that we possibly can, trying to make it as competitive yet also as entertaining as possible, which can be difficult, right? You kind of have two different things, ones that you want to try to mend together, but it's not always the most common. So like we've been kind of mentioning in terms of the game mode situations where those are looking at, I'm really excited. But my favorite thing about this entire competition, right, when we swap from Hunger Games then toward this mini game mode that has Hunger Games included, it really is the most well-rounded Minecraft player because it's not just about PvP, right? It's also about a multitude of different things from parkour to just overall creativeness and how you can kind of try to accomplish things. This really is the overall Minecraft competition, which I think is just so much fun to spectate. And like you always mention, we literally have the best seat in the house to spectate this.
Absolutely. We have no pressure on us, right? All we have to do is sit back, relax, talk a little bit, right? Talk to you guys. And there's no pressure. We don't have to worry about any money. We don't have to worry about any players
Taylor's
on
coming
vacation
through right now.
I'm chilling. It is what it is. I'm on the beach sipping pina coladas. You know, it is what it is.
Is that what's in that tea?
You were drinking something earlier. I don't know what that was.
No, it's just tea. It's just tea, ladies and gentlemen. But with
tea.
that being said, I'm pretty excited for a game mode that I'm usually excited to see, but more so this week, Find the Button.
Yeah.
There was, what, how many buttons last week that we kind of talked about? Like 80, 90?
Now how many?
From what I'm hearing, 184.
Is it 184?
184, 182, something like that. So it's almost been more than doubled. So that's a crazy amount of buttons. And on top of that, that's a lot of points that they could potentially find. Because I know Lack, the server admin, was kind of talking about it. He was like, 80% of the buttons can be found literally just in a general starting area. You don't need to do any parkour or any crazy things to go and find these buttons. It's like pretty easy to find. Yeah. You would think that, but they have 10 minutes and they're only able to find, I think, 15, 16 was like max
20
last week. But if there's now 184, we could be looking at quite a few points coming through. But then again, it's only 1 point per, I believe, team for the button. Yeah. It would be interesting if it was individual, though. Because that'd be 2 points. I mean, it would all balance out, though, because one would get in the other.
And one of my favorite things is, too, is that with Find the Button, the map changes every week. Like, we don't really know which one we're going to be taking a look at, how this is kind of changed up. Yeah, we actually have, we had a different map last week. Right?
Did we really?
Yeah.
I totally thought it was the same map.
Maybe it's a pina colada. You just you're talking in the commercial. We were taking a look. Taylor was just wigging something.
It's
I don't know what it was.
tea.
Just tea. Okay, we'll say
Raspberry
it's tea.
tea, man.
We'll say it's tea for now. But no, I'm excited to see the new map because we do have one every week. How that kind of gets integrated with the 140, 80, whatever it is.
100, yeah.
Amount of buttons. That's going to be crazy. But like you said, hey,
It
that's
is.
a lot of points that you can earn. That could be
It is.
maybe a swing moment where, a game mode could kind of catch us off guard a little bit. One that we're looking at, oh, it's going to be PvP, it's going to be TNT Run. Well, Find the Button can maybe kind of throw its hat in the ring, if you will.
And, speaking of things that change every week, Dropper. We haven't talked about Dropper. That's
Yes.
another opportunity for the good players to get a lot of points as well. Remember, last week, only 2 players finished every one. That was Skeppy and, of course, Techno. But we've seen those change every week, and I think last week might have been the hardest overall week.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm really curious to see if these players can keep adapting to the different Dropters. And
Sure,
how many
sure.
different ideas are there for Dropper maps? Like, at what point have
Honestly.
we exhausted every possible option?
Because like there's maybe every single week normally there's maybe like one course that only like 2 people can accomplish. Last week there was like 4 that just like a
4.
handful could get done, and I think there was one course where only 1 player made it, or maybe even no one.
I think it was like 2 or 3 were like
There
max.
was one where it was only Fire Breath Man, Skeppy, and then
Right.
Techno.
Techno, yeah.
God
That were able to do
goodness,
it.
like
That's tough.
oh, it is, and a lot of these guys they
Yeah.
memorize it, so it's like they're used to playing like different servers that obviously have these. If you're a new player, you have no clue what's going on.
Sure,
so
sure.
I'm kind of interested to see maybe how players can adapt to that. Like we talked about, that will be game 2. But here we go, right? Starting off in game number 1, Hunger Games playing on SparkCity. We're back here. I love it. Americana is lovely, and we'll see how teams can mend off the start. We talked about how influential, how important it is for a good break-off in one of the most earning game modes that exists in Minecraft Monday. You get off to a good start. That's obviously going to present you with a number of different positives. I know last week it was Travs and C-Scoop who ended up taking this game mode. Just coming in that second place was Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy. They finished second. No real surprise that in the end of things they end up winning the entire competition.
Right.
So we'll see how this kind of gets formed off the break here.
A couple teams to look out for, like you said, Bad Boy Halo, Scappy, Fire Breath Men, and Player would be a team to watch out for, but they're not back this week. But
Feels bad.
It does. But like you mentioned, I believe a little bit earlier, 9 Log.Zip as well as Preston are going to be there. So this is going to be a duo to watch out for in itself. And James Charles always making it fun. Where's the teammate?
Yeah, I don't know where
Where's Connor Eats
I
Pants?
was going to say, yeah, I don't know where Connor is. Interesting. Skeppy's also kind of just roaming around. Is this a free-for-all that we just didn't know about? I don't even see anybody with him, so rather unfortunate. But
That would be interesting to have like a free-for-all, but still like kind of like a duo.
that would be,
I
actually.
believe we call that splitting.
There you go. Okay, there's Bad Boy Halo. So they're still sticking around each other. I thought for a moment I was a little bit worried. I was like, do not tell me we're starting to see splits form in Hunger Games, because we know unless you are Techno, it's not going to work. It's just not going to happen. It really isn't.
I must say, Techno did split last week. I think he's kind of forced to
Intentional or not, right? And there's the man himself, right? A permanent spotlight has been put on this guy since the early weeks of Minecraft Monday. His audience has doubled and tripled. He's been really just performing on an incredible rate. And now with Jay Schlatt, right? This is their moment, guys. This is their opportunity early on in this game to really get the points forward.
Sweet Cake, and here, Team 22, it says, Fortunal, and then Wrecked as well. This was the team that I wanted to see what they could do, because, again, they are in the seat that was occupied by Fire Breath Man and Player.
Yeah.
And it looks like they already got themselves in a fight, or at least had lost health somehow. So they're going and trying to find the fights early. That's nice. It looks like got some apples here moving about, a Gapple as well. So a team that knows what they're doing. Filza, though, already getting things started. Jerome does go down, but that is a 2-for-1 deal. So I think they heard you, Taylor. They heard you.
Yeah, the split. It's going to have to happen, man. Thank Noodles Dan. That's tough. To get eliminated that early on, I mean, we still have 20 teams. No one wants to be that team that gets eliminated right off the rip, right? It always hurts. I know it too well, but it always is a Phil Bads moment.
I got to say, one thing that I am a little bit surprised about, just kind of going back to one of the earlier fights, was a big conversation that we were having was Jerome and Phil. So how are they going to play coming into this week? And I remember last week we were discussing, they could, coming into the tournament, they're probably, a top 5, top 4 team pretty much. They ended up finishing off top 8, which was pretty shocking. And so I'm kind of curious, and with them already dropping one player, that's a lot of possible points. I mean, having your teammate, having your duo, if you will, off the break is going to be crucial, because, you can only engage in so many particular moments. You're pretty much just going off of survival and placement. At that moment, you really want to try to be aware of the possible frags, the possible elims that could come through. So I am curious if that will be a narrative that is only going to continue with the trend, or if maybe they can be in that top 4 conversation. Because as we discussed coming into it, there are a ton of teams, even repeating champions, defending champions from last week, that are ready for another opportunity at that top 3, top 4 position.
And we said J-Schlatt going to have to come up. J-Schlatt actually gets the first elim there, gets one before Techno. Now they both clean it up there, but I think for Techno saying, yes, yes, finally.
Oh, another engagement
James!
going down as it's going to be James, but Connor Eats Pants comes through and is able to get 2 elims.
James is probably roasting him right now. Like, really? That was my moment. He just took it away from me.
Oh, he was right
Oh,
there.
there was someone right outside the window. That looked like a horror movie right there. That was scary.
A horror movie in Minecraft? What?
Yep, it's a thing.
Can't have that. Well, yeah, you
I
can.
mean, hey, you have the Enderman around you. Yeah,
That
things
is
change.
true.
That is
That is
literally
true.
one of the scariest video game characters of all time.
You ever seen that? Did you see that that meme that happened as of recently? The guy ended up attacking an Enderman and then ended up running
gosh.
away and just screaming bloody murder.
That's what I would do. If I saw an Enderman in person, I'm definitely backing out.
In person?
Oh, in person, yeah, I'm backing away. Don't even look him in the eye.
I heard you say you're backing out. You can't back out to the lobby in real life.
I would try. I would attempt. Can't just
Terrible.
alt F4 in real life, I guess.
Huh? Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe so, but yeah, action has been kind of slow, a lot slower than previous weeks. I would have to say we still are sitting at 16 teams, and the chests are about to refill. Last week, I was kind of hinting on this map specifically because of how open the map is, right? Those open spaces, so a lot of third-party opportunities and a lot of opportunities for players to kind of run and gun, if you will, run down some enemy teams. But it's a lot slower this week than last. I'm kind of curious as to why that is, but. That being said, 15 teams remain, 28 players, and the compasses are about to come through. But it's been pretty quiet for a lot of the normal teams that we've been seeing. Beijing Canadian, I don't think he's received an elimination as of yet, has he?
No, he is not. I believe that Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo are really the only team that's gone out and gotten a number of different elims. We've seen a few make a couple here, but I think we just have a lot of teams who are hiding right now, and won't be able to hide once those compasses drop in just over 2 minutes.
That's for sure. Skeppy Bad Boy Halo. As we talked about, the one team who's kind of roaming around, take you down the new blood, J-Bams, Papa Latte. Both.
Love
dropped.
the name.
I do. I love those names. Those are great. And those are teams that I think, looking on maybe for a few other games who could definitely be challenging for maybe even a top 10 position, something along those lines. But yeah, like we discussed, Skeppy Bad Boy Halo kind of moving around, moseying their way throughout the main street. And looking for who to try and take on next, as you see a number of different mushroom stews. They're sitting well when it comes down to health. Kits could definitely do some work, but I mean, hey, when you got mostly iron on most of your players, that's going to treat you pretty well. And based off of the cape, I'd imagine that's probably Mr. Captain Sparkles and his newly found teammate, and maybe just off toward the side, XQC, Moxie also wanting to throw their hat in the ring, but they've got to be careful, right? A very big choke point starting to occur, and I was going to say, XQC's got to be careful, right? You're going to try to jump on top of that fence block, and they're going to be off to the races as it looks as if another player drops, and Vicstar, James Charles, everyone's finding the elims.
Yeah, it's starting to heat up a lot, especially
two
with that zone
teammates
coming through.
prior.
As, it is, in fact, going to be 2 teammates fighting it off. One on fire, and that's going to be Vicstar against TNT frags. And easy elim, but log.zip comes in for the
no.
3P.
Zerker can't jump over the fence, and log.zip just got free health. I will say, in the garden, things are about to continue, not slowing down, and there goes Log, a wonderful 3P coming from XQC and Moxie. But my goodness, there was a ton of different fights right there, but I love that talking point, right? Vicstar and Preston, a.k.a. TNT Run R2, prior teammates, prior defending champions having to face off against each other. And speaking of big names, that was Beijing Canadian, who was nearly chased down by Technoblade. Thankfully, does have that Ender Pearl to escape, but he's just off in the horizon.
I saw Vic actually handing off excuse me, that was Moxie, I think, to XQC, handing off an Ender Pearl, so they're going to have one a little bit later. Technoblade, though, hot on a pursuit. J-Schlatt is following behind, so this is looking promising. Hunger Games is always kind of like the telling tale how the rest of the tournament is going to go, right? So the fact that J-Schlatt's still up is a positive thing, to say the least. Yellow shirt guy is going to be running away, and kind of curious who this victim or potential victim might be.
Junkie
Oh,
Janker.
are they going into – is that guarding closed off? Because J-Schlatt's going to have free reign. Techno onto Quackity, and that's going to be Quackity, and J-Schlatt is about to take out his partner.
Oh, but somebody else has come in now, so there's actually a lot of opportunities here. They're going to have to be careful. That barrier got stronger.
Oh, my gosh.
Techno, do not go down to the barrier, please. Okay. But J-Schlatt
one
does.
shot, What a shot C-Scoop just fired off the arrow as he was in the midst of things, and C-Scoop also takes down Technoblade. That is a massive loss, all things considered, right? Still, 7 teams remaining, and XQC talking to chat, maybe even talking to Moxie, and that could be their downfall if they're not careful. C-Scoop, Travs, they're continuing on. And there goes Bad Boy Halo.
Third place from
What?
last week, tearing it up, and they are definitely coming out with an exclamation point this week. Skeppy, another victim. Connor Eats
Wow.
Pants is going to be eliminated. And, of course, if you are familiar with Connor Eats Pants, he's teaming with James Charles. And now James Charles in an engagement. And, unfortunately, he is going to lose his life as well. We're now down to how many teams? 6 teams, 10 players. But, man, what a performance from C-Scoop and Travs. They are tearing up the competition.
They are. They don't have quite as many elims right now as Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy, but they did get some big elims right there. And once again, right, those were the 2 teams last week that started off big. And S Major actually getting into the mix, taking down Skeppy. So Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy now down. They have done their job for the time being. And now can Captain Sparkles and Bajan start to pile on some points? They're both up right now as well. You have to imagine this one's going to fall soon. And there one indeed goes. A few more left, and at some point you think that C-Scoop and Travs are going to meet up with this duo.
You would hope.
It's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of when. And already on the hunt, Captain Sparkles, Bajan, they're ready to go. They're trying to get up to that full 20 hearts. They placed down the cake. Not the most humane thing, if you will. But, hey, they're still rocking with it. They're just off of fumes at the time. Trying to upgrade their kits and be aware right of that barrier, which is hitting for a ton right now. A lot of players being caught off guard as we are down toward our final 4 squads. 6 players to be exact at XQC. Moxie, your sleeper pick, Taylor.
Yes.
They're still hanging on here.
You know, I always pick the right sleeper team every single time. XQC and Moxie, though, are genuine sleeper team. And the fact that they're still up is great. But obviously, with that zone closing in, they're going to have a lot of competition and some of the best in the game. I am very happy to see as S Major goes down to Beijing Canadian takes him out. Beijing Canadian Captain Sparkles teaming together is going to be a highlight team to say the least. And this could, in fact, be their week if they're able to take this over. But a great engagement from XQC, distancing the player with TNT, also getting a couple of hits. They're going to come in for the third-party opportunity, and this is going to tell the tale of who's going to take over the victory as Beijing Canadian. Scoop goes down. Another one in the mix as Captain Sparkles go down, and XQC and Moxie, against all odds, they come through and win the first Hunger Games of today.
Great work by them, waiting and picking that engagement. They were really the last duo to the party, if you will. I think that we were talking about the other teams starting to meet each other in the middle, and where was it at the end? They got that pincer working around the side there. They got 3 elims at the end for doing really not much more than walking forward and slashing a bunch. Everyone else did the work for them, and a great job. You saw them come in earlier here for this 3P opportunity as well. So they are learning quickly, and that's bad news for the rest of the field.
That's for sure, right? I mean, these guys, picking their fights, right? Knowing when to engage. And while they maybe didn't finish off with the single most eliminations, they got the victory, which is really what they were looking to try and grab off the break. And a 9th place finish last week, already looking to be in a much better position when it comes down to this week. As, like we said, a number of different replays. I mean, this is going to be a massive moment for everybody in the Minecraft community to see Captain Sparkles, Beijing Canadian together. It's going to be fun, right, to watch these guys kind of duel out as time goes on. But they pretty much just distance players in the back. They got caught off guard. They had enemies to their front, the barrier to their back. And they really couldn't make a whole lot happen in the end of things. Let's go and take a look at our score. And for the first time, we are tied after game 1, despite a dub, despite a victory coming through from Moxie and XQC. It is going to be Bad Boy, Halo, and Skeppy also right there with them. And as we were talking about earlier, it was a matter of their eliminations off the break that made the difference.
Absolutely. And clearly, right, we added another PvP game mode into the mix for our 9 games that we play here for Minecraft Monday. So with Moxie and XQC doing so well in the PvP era, I got to say, Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy could, in fact, have some great competition, but I love to see Captain Sparkles and Beijing Canadian 90 points in 3rd place. Very encouraging because Beijing Canadian, I know, especially from week 1, whenever I was doing a lot of research, right, Beijing Canadian was the guy that I was watching all the time whenever it came down to Hunger Games. He's very passionate about the Minecraft scene. I expect a lot out of him. Unfortunately, he's never been able to take over the victory and get 1st place, but with that being said, I genuinely think this could be his week.
Okay.
I definitely think it could be. Captain Sparkles is going to be one of the best competitors that he's played with. I think it is. I think this is his week.
Okay. I mean, hey, if there was ever a week, that's a great kind of start off from. It's a great kind of, beginning point to the race, if you will. So I am curious to see how they kind of continue that trend. And can they break right that top 4 position for Captain Sparkles? It's kind of been a thing where Captain Sparkles finally makes it to top 4. That's where Beijing Canadian, and outside of last week, has kind of remained. He's been placing top 3 countless times, and we'll see if that can continue. But look at this color swirl. As we talked about the creativeness when it comes down to dropper, we're experiencing another one of those moments right now, as I feel like players are almost an infinite loop. I think I'm about to nearly be
good there.
what's going. I think I might have just
I feel like
been
like Willy
taken apart. I have no
Willy
idea what just
Wonka's
happened.
like chocolate factory right now. What is this? Like just
Like I was-
falling down? Like this is crazy to say the least. Carson,
He's AFK apparently.
he's taking his time. AFK.
That's a good way to say it.
Is that Quackity in the mix as well? Just about everybody's already completed this, but except Quackity and Carson. Maybe Quackity did just make it indeed, but for this one being the first one,
Lauren,
pretty
okay.
easy.
Lauren.
Lauren's side, okay, making it through.
Hop. Yep, there we go. So that means that everyone except for Carson has made it. Wow. There were quite a few people who made it on the first drop, too.
Yeah.
So
Right.
those points going to be a tough split again. For being in that
Sometimes-
first handful of players, you do get more points. And Carson.
Sometimes the hardest step to make in the morning is the first step.
Yep, that's
right,
for sure.
Carson.
Right?
So we can learn a lot from this, right? Carson taking his time, holding himself back. But ladies
He
and
is the
gentlemen,
top scorer, apparently.
He
all
wants
you-
to make
but-
it more dramatic for everyone.
But this is the thing. All you have to do, guys, take that first step, and
Yeah.
the world is yours.
just go for it, right? Just take the jump.
Don't be
take
like
the leap
Carson.
of faith, and
Don't be like Carson,
It's
staying
over.
at the edge.
it's over. It's done for. Next course.
Is
We're
this a
already
toilet?
in.
It's
A
a toilet bowl.
Oh, this is incredible. A cheeky little bathroom.
Cheeky. Very fitting.
Thank you. I'm glad that somebody caught that. My
This is
goodness.
awesome. I've seen one of these dropper levels where it was like a.
Oh, this is a long john. Okay.
This reminds me of
Across the
what's that
carpet.
Nintendo 64 shooting game with the army men?
Oh,
what I'm
yeah. I
Yeah.
know the one you're talking
You know what
about.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about, right? And you would compete in like a bathroom. You would compete in like the living room.
Oh,
This
I know
kinda
what you're
reminds
talking
me-
about now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
In the old
okay.
game. This is I think they came out with it on mobile
There's
too.
literally a heater on the wall too. Like the detail of this is just incredible.
Well, there was one that I was watching too a long time ago. That was a living room, and like the sofa was there,
Right.
and it had like holes in it and everything. Like, pretty creative.
Oh, my goodness. Once again, all 40 have completed. It's just Carson who's AFK.
Carson taking his time. He
Like-
definitely.
like I know you have the capability to just end his life right now. Not that I'm saying you should do that, but I'll leave that up to you.
Carson
Carson's just chilling.
is the definition of procrastination. I'll get to it eventually. I've got 20 seconds. Not going to do it.
What if this is calling his shot? What if he's so confident he'll get it in one try that he's opting not to do it until the final 10 seconds?
He's got a long sprint though to make it
That's
toward that
true.
button. So like even if you jump
Look
in the
at
toilet,
patient Canadian kick. I mean, Carson, if you're not going to play, what's the point? What's the point?
what's the point, man? There you go, Carson. Another opportunity lost. Unfortunate situation. We'll go and hop in the next one. And okay, interesting. So it looks as if you got some lava that you have to jump through. This is pretty common, right? We've been seeing a number of this different kind of lava portions throughout the dropper courses as we are entering in toward the third one. And it looks as if a few players are already struggling off the start. And I think you do have to kind of catch the water on the corner. And already, right, a new kind of member, right? The first Minecraft Monday here for Forginal & Co. He makes it through in one of the first tries possible. Great to see from some of our new competitors.
Oh, nice. Junkie, unfortunately, just continues to try. So I think he's going for the lava approach instead of just like jumping down and catching the water. He's wanting to avoid the lava up top. Smart, right? Because you obviously are going to be on fire. And that is a risky thing to do, risky thing to be. But with that being said, just trying to catch the edge and the angle. And what he's trying to do, he wants to avoid the lava up top, but he's happy with hitting that last one and then dropping down into the water. I think that's kind of the way to go about it. Nice job!
There you go.
As he finally gets it. He had the right idea the whole time. He just had to try it a couple more.
Well,
Hey,
that's
try again.
Those are the two phases of dropper, right? It's at first getting the right idea, which you get a few tries to do, and then at that point, it's executing. And I think that Dan, with just one heart left, is going to be able to do that. Talk about cutting it close.
Yeah.
And speaking of cutting it close, just 5 seconds, I don't think anyone else is going to make it, and they're all at the bottom. That's so disheartening.
there's at least like 4 or 5 people who made it through the course but just could not make it in time. Okay, so it looks as if we're in somewhat of a mine shaft for this one. I love that. Is it flames on the bottom? Okay, interesting design. This is fantastic. And it looks as if you have to go toward a very minute pool. Just at the bottom. Are those feet? Okay, this is something.
People.
This is some creature.
But this is the thing about this course
Oh,
is like,
wow, this is awesome, actually.
you know,
I
a lot
love
of
this.
courses, like, you have to, dictate, hey, where do you want to jump? Do you want to, like, maybe go around the edge? You only have one hole to drop through, which makes it kind of easier, if you will. No
So apparently, if you go toward the very center, you actually fall through the map. Wow.
That is painful. You know,
That is painful.
when you woke up this morning, guys, answer me honestly here. If you woke up this morning,
man.
did you think that ribs
Wow.
and a pelvic bone would be the biggest obstacles for our people
Look
today?
at that. No,
This
I
is
did not.
amazing.
That
Like,
is awesome.
I don't understand the flames at the bottom, but I'll take it. I mean, hey, it's a cool design. This is fantastic.
Flames on anything makes it cool. Like flames on a car, flames on a motorcycle, flames on, like, your BMX bike.
Totally. On your scooter. And there's Jaden Nader getting it done for for her and Cupquake. And I believe that's going to be 40 completed. I can only imagine who probably is the last person. And there it is.
Carson, good to see you here, buddy. What have you been up to? Just hanging out? All right. We'll be seeing you next time.
We'll be in touch, Carson. We'll be in touch. As we'll move on to the 5th course. And, oh, man, this looks like a redstone train that has been developed for quite a long time. This is a lot of items, a lot of ores have probably made their jaunt throughout here.
So it looks like there's actually 2, and looks like most of them have made it to the bottom. So
It's an easy week.
Well, I was going to say, I think the difficulty is actually finding the button once you're through.
Yeah, but everybody's running. Now, you know what? But if you're one of the last players and someone's not communicating with you, that would be tough. Let's say Carson comes back and tries to play. He lands, but he's like the last one. It's going to be tough to find. But that has been a talking point, right? People not being able to find the button. Skeppy taking his time, looking at it. He's really taking
lovely
his
button.
time.
That's a lovely button right there. He's just admiring.
I'm trying to think of the strategy
I
right
would
here.
too. Like, look at this.
All right,
Carson is at Lowe's.
just looking at studio floor,
Nice.
just like, what's going on there?
He's got to pick up some hardware, you know?
Did Carson turn around?
Yeah, wait.
So Carson might still be here?
Apparently he's at Lowe's.
He's at Lowe's?
He's stuck at the bathroom renovation section. All right. Well, that's very specific.
Is that a what?
Is that what they call going to the bathroom these days?
Well, we got Minecraft Monday today. Let me just take a real quick trip over to the bathroom renovation section at Lowe's.
Shout out to Lowe's.
I can make it back. Only Carson.
Okay, so jumping in this one, it looks as if you have to make your way through the cobwebs. So the most frustrating thing about this is everyone hates being in cobwebs. That has to be a continuous trend every time that you end up getting taken down, which I don't know how difficult it is based on the fact that no one has completed it as of yet. May be somewhat of a sign for the future, but a little bit of a difficult drop here, and everyone's thinking, okay, how are we going to maneuver ourselves? Because it is awfully dark here. Right? You see that course at the end of the day, but everyone's so nervous about how they get there, and I think Log.zip has somewhat of the idea, but losing so many hearts as well.
One has completed, now 2.
Oh, okay. This
And-
is very skilled. You have to do like a multitude of things.
I'm kind of curious. Do you think you have to, though, or can you just drop straight down? Like, that's what. First off, what is the theme of this?
I actually have no idea.
That's what
It's
I'm thinking.
awfully
Like,
dark.
is it like a city?
Could be.
Oh, it's a kitchen.
It's a kitchen, but
Oh,
sideways.
shit! Ah, it's a kitchen.
Whoa, my mind is blown. That is a
That's
toaster,
toast.
folks. That is an absolute. My mind is just absolutely broken. Like that. I feel like we were watching a movie in like The Matrix. We just figured out what exactly the storyline happened. Like what really did occur. I still don't actually know.
we
But
just
that's
had
what
to
I
get
feel
the
like it
right
would be
angle.
like. Yeah, 100%. Right. Now where's the button?
Well,
Like,
time's,
what's-
time's over. Log.zip. I don't think found
Oh,
it,
darn.
unfortunately.
So
Only-
only how many people completed that last one?
I believe 10 people got through that one.
Oh,
That's
okay.
tough. And here, look, yeah, everybody's going to be able to complete this one. There's already 9 who's able to complete it so far. 9 whole grains, baby.
Oh, Carson's back.
Carson's here.
Carson back from Lowe's. He's got all the renovation materials he needs.
Wow.
And it's good to see that he's back, man.
Crazy story. He really is.
Oh, he said he was in the bathroom. He was doing some renovations in the bathroom, if you will.
Depending on how you look at it, I guess. Yeah,
how you
it's-
look
it's
at it,
okay.
man.
Now the real question.
Can he make it? No.
Hmm.
Quickly solved.
So almost the same result as not playing. There we go. Okay.
Let's go, Carson.
It's first point.
And this is what we were missing the entire time. We knew Carson could do it.
Who's left now? I'm actually curious. Is it who's left now?
It's just real Think Noodles left.
Oh, Think Noodles, no pressure. 25 seconds. Oh, I thought he actually made it. He's right on the money. He knows the idea. He and Dan TDM, they've got this. Yep, easy money.
Ooh.
Think Noodles.
41 of 41.
We're getting it done early here, folks. We're getting it done early.
Nice.
Ooh, this one. So it looks like you have to do a lot of mid-air maneuverability.
Kind of like the Blue Angels.
Sure, Taylor.
You know, the jet
not?
guys.
What a
Jet
deep
guys,
dive.
thank you for letting us know.
I'm sure that they'll be happy to be known as that, the Jet guys. Not to be confused with the New York Jets, you know.
True. No, you can't confuse the two, right? New York Jets, totally different. That's like a sport, and then you have like Blue Angels, which, they fly jets.
Right, there you go. Perfect. Oh, 39 out of
Sort of
41. There's Cupquake. Who's the last? Is it Carson? Is it
No, it's
Think Noodle? It's James. Oh, perfect. Right on cue. James, great work.
I think James has been doing actually considerably well whenever it comes to this.
We haven't seen him at the end. I mean, for like
Right.
players who are waiting to be accomplishing these.
This
he
is one of the
seems to-
game modes like you don't want to be
Oh.
seen at the end. Now this
Are we
is
back-
okay.
this is the shower
This
portion
is
of
where
the bathroom?
Carson was just at, believe it or not.
It actually was. Maybe this is a real
Look at
life
it's like
version of it.
ants crawling around at the bottom.
This is great.
Oh no, that's bringing back bad memories. Ants in your house, the worst thing.
So you
So
just venture out. And I
They
guess
land
figure where it is.
in the shower and then have to crawl out of the shower to try to find the button.
Nice. Everyone's worst nightmare.
I don't think actually a lot of people might be sure. There's 31 who's completed it. Come on, there's got to be some communication to find it. Everybody's running to the outer edge of the map. Okay.
XQC is like
I think he's
building.
still confused with Hunger Games. I think he's like, I got to find a sword.
They've got to be calling out very vigorously right now.
What?
Okay, the map
Oh,
was loaded.
okay.
I thought that we were about to like. This is nice. I was gonna say for the moment I feel like we were venturing into space, depending on how you look at it. But I think everyone's starting to kind of get the idea. Once you fall through the shower, just a little mouse hole, just hanging off in the distance. Love that.
Taking his time.
They're gonna get there
XQC.
just in time too. I mean, it's time's starting to tick away.
I was getting a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was getting a little worried.
I'm excited to see what the last course is actually. And it looks as if 41st done for. That's a lot of courses that we've seen pretty much everybody complete in. Oh
Whoa.
gosh,
A city? This is a city.
these are skyscrapers. It looks like.
Or is it a parking garage on the left and then a city on the right?
Who knows?
But is that the sky to the left and right of them?
I'm getting mind blown. Okay, no, these are cars down here.
Okay.
These are cars. What
Not-
city is this though?
Ooh, see, that's the question you got to be asked. Like Addis Ababa, maybe?
I have no idea what you just said.
Addis Ababa. That's a city.
All right,
That's the capital of Ethiopia.
good job.
Beautiful place to be at, by the way. Beautiful place to be at.
I appreciate that you had all of that knowledge for us. As J-Bams, we'll put it in. Just gonna decide it exactly, but that's going to be our 10th course finalized. I'm excited to see what the results are looking like. I'd imagine that things are going to stay somewhat similar, but
You would
Right.
think.
some very interesting. I think this was my favorite week of dropper courses. We had some interesting ones. Some of them were a little bit easier than last week, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And then Carson making his valiant return, one of the best comebacks in Minecraft Money history.
Oh, Carson.
yeah, for sure. right?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable action from
Insane.
Carson, man. Whenever he came back, he was able to complete just about every single one.
Yeah, right. So there we have it. Bad Boy Halo, Skeppy. They actually do end up taking the lead here because we talked about it. It was tied coming into this at, what was it, like 2? I forget the exact score line, but was it maybe, I'm not even going to act like as if I know. It was tied, but now
Right.
they've obviously taken the 15 point
120 to
advantage.
120.
There you go. That's what it was. So a nice, hefty lead of just 15 points, right? Not that much deciding a whole lot of things. And still, right, 200 margin all the way down to 4th place. Not too much of a difference.
No, it's not. And actually, right now, 1st through 10th is within 100 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time we've been able to say that
After
at
2
any
games.
point, at
Yeah,
any
literally.
in 2 games at this point. So, again, the PvP mode's going to make a big difference later on in the games.
Oh, 100%. I got to say, though, from going from 120 points up to 230, a lot more points than I thought you were able to get in Dropper. That's 110 points.
Yeah, that's true.
That they were able to get. So, of course, a little bit less going down the leaderboard, but it does, come to show like Dropper. Obviously, you need a partner who's able to compete.
Yeah,
and do well.
for sure, right? And we saw a few people kind of at the end, unfortunately, not making it through the course. It's a matter of consistency. If you're not having everyone complete the course, especially in those kind of first few, placements, then
Sure.
you're going to start to kind of trickle down a little bit, which is what we see there. Granted, it's only 15 points, but clearly there was, a little bit of a misstep coming in from XQC and Moxie, which, granted, it's their second Minecraft Money tournament. You can't hate on them at all for them the way they placed in that first game. Now coming in and being in second place right now, they're playing very, very well. And I'm curious if they can keep it up when it comes down to our next game mode, one that I'm sure is going to be generating quite a bit of call-outs. Find the button.
Yeah.
As we have 140, 160, 180 plus
100
buttons.
I think 184.
Something like that.
The number gets higher every time we say it.
It really does. Well, this one's 2,000 buttons, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
a
my
lot
gosh.
to be choosing from, and there is a new course, a new map for this week, Taylor.
That's fair. Look, I didn't know. I really thought it was the same course.
It's all right, it
I don't
happens.
know what. I swear it was.
It's not.
Okay.
At least it hasn't been the last few weeks. It could be this week. I don't know.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
This one's
So-
new. This one's new.
All right, let's
We've
get a
definitely not
prediction
seen
here.
this.
Over under on the top score. I am going 25. That's the mark. Over under.
You said 35?
25.
25. I'm going over.
Going over?
I think it's going to be 33.
Okay.
Huh.
Exactly 33, I want to point out.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to know that.
No, I know that.
Okay. Taylor will know in his heart.
Oh.
So you said over under 25?
Over under 25.
Gosh, I want to say over 25, but I feel like I don't know. It's a pretty wide open course.
Just say 5. That's fair.
Yeah, 6. I'll say 6. No, I'm joking. I'm going to say under. Not that I believe that. I'm just going to play devil's advocate here.
Sure.
What about
Right.
you, 9? You got to answer the question too.
Well, I set the numbers. I don't get to bet. That's how it works.
Wow.
That is not how it works. I want to point out, by the way.
Chat, let us know. Are you over under? We're going to see
Sure,
25.
I'll take the over. I'll take the
Take
over.
the over? Okay, over 25. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I will say it took just about over 30 seconds to find one button. So I'm feeling very...
Jack and Major already found their 5th, so there's that.
Okay, so that's fair. Okay, so 5th. All right, I will say, now I'm feeling a little bit more confident about 33 exactly. I think 33 is going to be a good number.
Okay, you specifically chose
33.
over under. I want 33. Okay, well, but Taylor just choose over. I just want 33. Okay, you can have 33, Taylor.
It's going straight for the parlay.
No big deal. Yeah, the parlay, right? I'm curious if we have any routes where players can be trapped, because that was the biggest deal that Lake had to come through and save everybody, which caused quite a bit of a delay.
I'm kind of curious. Actually, I got to say, even though there's more buttons, this map seems pretty complex, actually. And there's a lot of open spaces. So I know last time we saw a lot of buttons that were on the side of the houses that they would have to jump down. So they'd have to get to the top of the house, jump down, and they click it while in the air, right? So kind of curious if there's going to be a couple like that. But because the map kind of looks similar in multiple areas, this is where communication is going to have to be key, right? You're going to have to be communicating with your partner to kind of cover as much ground as possible so you're not doubling back on buttons you've already pressed.
Man, these houses look pretty similar, too.
Yeah, they do, exactly. You go
So-
crazy over time.
Circus looking at that gaming setup and saying, wow, I wish mine resembled that. And I think everyone's just turning it on and off the lights. And I'm not sure how much of a difference that makes, but I'd imagine there's got to be a puzzle mixed in there somehow. So mixed in there some way, but it looks as if most teams reaching that 5th button mark. And what a lovely neighborhood this is. Just a nice open grass area. Some nice square footage, I'm sure, in the houses. A nice park. I mean, hey, this would be a neighborhood that I'd be happy to live in.
It's a nice place to, like, start a family, kind of like send your kids off to school, relax a little bit. A lot of grass to mow. I think that would be kind of like
that's
the worst
true.
parts about it. But
That's true.
and a lot of hedges to kind of, trim up. But
Wait, do I hear an Enderman?
I hope not.
I definitely hear something.
I think is that the sound like the leader? Maybe the leader.
That may be, as
taking
like certain teams reach a certain march. I was going to say, if there's an Enderman
Let's
somewhere,
hope that.
I no longer want to live in this neighborhood if there's an Enderman that happens to be my neighbor. I would not like that. Not be ideal. And look at this. Bathrooms for multiple games. We're now obviously here and Find the Button. Bathrooms still making their way in. And looks as if I think that's the 15th button found for Jerome and Filza.
Okay.
Yeah, they heard you. They said, okay, you know what? Maybe we should. Maybe this is our week. We can do this. Find the button. And, you know, we've said that this isn't the highest scoring game, but if you just outpace everybody and find all these buttons first, you could potentially get a lot. And that's Moxie and XQC with their 15th button as well.
They're prepared. Those comms, I'm sure, are fuming. Which I guess is a good thing.
Fuming. It's what a adjective to use to describe it.
I mean, hey, what can I say?
I like it. No, but seriously though, right? You know, this doesn't take that much skill to find the button, right? Per se, there's a little bit of parkour. Oh, that is a good spot.
Nice job, Jerome.
Very nice. Very nice.
Clutch.
Very clutch.
So I guess the barrier's starting to move in to like keep them more condensed. I guess.
I don't think it's moved in. I think they're just on
Is
the
it
edge
not?
of it. No.
Am I just crazy? I'm probably crazy.
I don't think because I thought the same thing a little bit earlier. I was like, is the barrier moving? Like no, but it's not. Fortunately, right? Because are there buttons in between? No, that was just the handles on the chest, huh?
XQC, he's found it. Nice job, XQC. Great work. I'll tell you what, this guy's continually impressing me. Like I know last week we were talking about how is he going to place, where's he going to really kind of be at in terms of the overall standings. Finishes 9th, very respectable for your first ever attempt, and the fact that they are still competing for that first place spot, being one of the first teams to find 15 buttons and this game mode, still dominating when it came down to even Dropper, Hunger Games previously. This is a team that I think, if they continue with it, they could absolutely be a contender, not even just this week, but for the weeks moving forward.
Glad you agree with me for once. Yeah, that's what I said, XQC Moxie. I'm telling you, I think this could be their week. They're already sitting in 2nd place. They're doing phenomenally well.
Is it Captain Sparkle's week, or is it XQC and Moxie?
I know I switched it up a lot. No, seriously, my sleeper team, no, I'm
So your
standing,
sleeper team is
I am
one.
standing
Team
firm.
Lord, like clockwork, this man.
I am standing firm. I'm doing no,
Which one? Which one are you standing firm on?
XQC and Moxie.
Okay, so
it
it's
is going
not
to be their
Captain
week.
Sparkle's week.
I'm just saying, I'm excited to see them competing together. I think this could be a
You
week.
said that it was their week earlier.
It's everybody's week.
Okay.
It's everybody's week.
It's everybody's?
Everybody.
9, is it your week? It's my week.
I guess it is. I don't get to make the rules, but I guess it is.
I don't get to make
I'm not saying, guys, come on. I'm just trying to be supportive.
It seems like almost every team currently at 15, and we'll have to see here. We haven't seen it say somebody has found their 20th button yet, so I'm wondering if that's just because nobody's found it or if there isn't the marker to let us know that. But we see Dolan Dark and Grande, one of the few teams that's currently still at 10.
Hey.
Great job, Captain Sparkles.
Turns on the lights.
Yeah.
Shed some light on the situation. He knows there's got to be a button possibly up there, maybe in the chests, underneath.
And if there are over 100 buttons and there's only so many houses, right, you have to feel like, okay, there's got to be at least 10 or so buttons in each one of
fair.
these houses. So I'm wondering if the strategy is to maybe sit back and fully scope out a house before you leave, or just try to hit all the easy buttons in all the houses.
That's a good idea. I mean, definitely so. And
Oh,
no way.
Jaden, great call.
I think they've already pressed it, but I mean that is very sneaky. Now I can understand the gravity of like how hard this could be, because that button was virtually invisible. And you know there's got to be buttons in maybe on the trees.
Oh, Lauren's stuck. Skeppy, trying to be a good guy, helping her out. Maybe is just rubbing it in, to be honest with you. Who knows?
I was going to say, I'm not sure that it's helping or
Enjoy your time there, Lauren.
taunting.
And Junkie tried. He's like, okay, I'm going to go on vacate. Blake letting her know. Lauren, now back on the course, trying to find some more buttons. And Captain Sparkles, that's kind of creepy. The fact one of these houses has a very hidden past, possibly. In the garage, underneath that garage, was a secret dungeon. You never know what you're going to find. You never know who your neighbors really are.
That's a fact. You always got to watch out for your neighbors. that is 100% true, to say the least. I think, boys, I'm going to be wrong. I don't think they're going to reach 33. We're just down to 2 minutes. And what's the highest we've seen?
15, I think.
15, right? So that's crazy to me. Seriously, some of these must be incredibly difficult to find. I mean,
Can I be
100
honest with you guys?
Yeah.
So the reason why I went under is because I don't know if you can actually get more than 15. Like, legitimately, like, be earned more than 15 points.
Well, that would have been nice to know ahead of time landed.
I don't know for sure. That was the basis of what I went off on.
Spewed off over 33.
I just thought, hey, I don't know for sure. That's just the one basis that I was going with. To not be, going with, oh, yeah, it's got to be over. But we never have seen a team get over 15. And I remember in one of the first weeks, we saw instantly a team get to, like, 15 with 3 minutes left, and they didn't end up finding 20. And I was like, surely there's no way. I wonder if 15 is the cap. But I don't know. I really don't know. I could be just be
that's a-
spouting off information and not knowing what I'm talking about,
That's
which
a
is
fair
very
observation.
It
though.
absolutely is. It's a very good possibility that could be the case. But minute and 18 seconds left. Can anyone get to 20? Is it even worth it? Who knows?
There's 15 again. Junkie Jinker Quackify coming through. 15. Yeah, maybe it is 15.
I will point out in the chat, Jerome said I found a sword. What's that worth?
I'd say at least 5. At least 5 bucks.
Well, I'd say if you're the only one here with a sword, that kind of makes you king of the castle, right?
It's true. King of the neighborhood.
It's, the conch and lord of the flies here.
He's
You're-
now the landlord at that point.
Oh, very nice.
Landlord with a sword. I'm moving out.
100%. Not interested in that. Okay. Admiring the pressure plates. Admiring everything, really. This is just a lovely neighborhood.
There's 15 again. Okay, Landon, I believe you.
Thank
I think 15 is the max. Now there's a question. I think so. From my understanding, the first one to find a button gets a bonus potentially, and then the first one to find 15 buttons gets a bonus. And I do believe that adds up to 33. So I think I could be correct on maybe you didn't find 15 buttons, but they got 33 points.
That was
said
not what
33
the
buttons.
over-under
Yep.
was.
Not correct.
That was. I'm not going to have you pivot and move the goalposts on this one.
I had to
He
try
tried.
now.
He attempted. That's a nice house right there. And there we have it.
36.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay, so there we have it. It is official.
Hey, boys, listen. I knew it all along, right? 36, come on.
But no, I will say you were very specific in saying not over under. You just said 33.
I did.
He was very specific.
I did
did.
pick the over.
You-
I said over.
You did over, you
Congratulations,
did
man.
under.
I did. I did rightfully
So
say
you were
under.
the only one that was right.
Congratulations.
But I'm kind of
man.
like at the roulette table, like putting all my money on the green zero. You know what I'm saying? Like
you went for the exact one.
the
They asked you.
exact.
They asked you for one or the
double
other.
down.
You said this number in specific. This number in specific, and look at
that's
this.
a lot of points.
That is. That will progressively move them up into the first place position. Cap Sparkles, Beige Canadian, now up to 495. Log.zip and Preston actually making their way up into second as well. So teams that we kind of had in that leading conversation are by no means in that same spot as we see Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy move down to fifth. Moxie, XQC still holding it down in that third place position. But speaking of thirds, we are a third of the way through the competition today. When we come back after this quick little commercial break, it is time for our newest game mode, Kit PvP. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Minecraft Monday, week number 6, as we are live here from the UMG studio. We've officially entered in toward our 4th game, and we're actually throwing something into the mix a little bit, right? We're going to be playing some kit PvP, which should be a phenomenal one to watch. We talked about the score, the differential, on how this one could kind of come about, guys. And we were even discussing before coming in to find the button. It was like, okay, that kit PvP mode, that's going to be the one to really kind of set the score. Not all the case. Find the Button came through and really shocked us all, and based off the standings and how everything kind of fluctuated.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Like Captain Sparkles, as well as Beijing Canadian, moving into first, like that's shocking to say the least, because of the fact they were able to find 36 total buttons, and that that was like over 200 scores. It seemed like they went from what, like 190 something points up to 400 and.
That may have been our highest scoring round ever.
Ever.
I think it has to be, because that was well over 200. I believe it was over the 250 mark that we had seen Technoblade set in a Hunger Games map. So we're going to have to start rethinking this in our heads. And I suppose as they continue to add different more buttons, I suppose that means that the score is going to get higher.
Yeah, because they went from 210 points to 495.
Yeah.
So quick math, Casio. How much is that, 9? 495, 210.
285.
285. Man, 9, I love that you're here. 285. But that, seriously, that's insane. And that comes to show you there is clearly real strategy that needs to be implemented when it comes to find the button. It's not just that casual game mode we thought it was going to be.
Right. And my question is, they found, what, 36 buttons? I wonder what the next team found, because they rose. I wonder what the next highest was. I mean, we were talking about it could be in the 25, 30 region. We were even doing up and over.
Well, log.zip TV and our frags, they were at 153 going in to find a button, and now they are in second at 430.
So they're probably right behind, kind of right on their tails, if you will. But let's go ahead and kind of translate the conversation like we talked about. Find the button, a very important game mode, as we'll be looking at that one for the future. But now coming in toward kit PvP. Now, this is a mode that a lot of people are kind of familiar with. This is kind of similar to a Hunger Games aspect in terms of PvP. Now, we will be playing on military. Players have the ability to kind of buy their own kits, if you will. And you also do respawn. It's basically the first person to find 25 eliminations. And in terms of score overall, the team that ends up finishing off in first place will earn 30 points. The team that ends up finishing in second will earn 20. The team that comes in third will earn 10 points. So I know we're having a little bit of a restart, but I'm excited to watch this one, right? Another PvP mode kind of thrown into the mix a little bit. A lot of points that could be earned. And we discussed, right? The team that comes in first, automatic earn rate of 30 points. You have to find 25 elims, which 25 times 5, that's also going to be an opportunity to grab some. So this is going to be another high-quality game mode that could be adding toward a lot of the fluctuations of the score again.
I'm excited for it because it kind of mimics that of Team Deathmatch. And if you guys aren't familiar, right, go back to Call of Duty, Team Deathmatch, and various other games too. It's high-octane action, non-stop, more so than Hunger Games. And having that respawn, right, gives you the ability to be more aggressive, because you know you'll just respawn and be right back in it, and you're not going to lose your gear or lose your kit. But yeah, look at that elimination feed. My goodness.
I like the lightning that just keeps going off. I think that may be a basis of what's going on, just non-stop storm. That seems to be the trend, as I'm sure a lot of players are already starting to get close to losing their life. I want to point out that I forget who just took down Technoblade. I saw the name Grande was next to it, which if that was the case, one of the greatest moments in gaming history in Moxie, as soon as he was getting ready to take the Gapple, Fitz was there to drop him pretty instantaneously. And I want to say that most players are rocking the same kit. I think we may be even using the same one for this week. I know we were kind of trying to tally up a few things, trying to get somewhat of an idea for what is the case. Because we have a massive map. The fight has been constantly developing in the center. And I guess now that the fight has started to occur a little bit, players are off of those respawns. They're starting to think otherwise in terms of staying in that same location, rather valuing their lives that they have left.
But it's interesting, right? You got to value your life, but on top of that, you want to go to a location where everybody's going to be at. Why? Because you could come in for third-party opportunities. In this case, it's fourth, fifth-party opportunities because there's so many people. But it does open you up. If you go off into the distance, as Fitz unfortunately is going to be eliminated, and he was in a fight with Afamu, but if you think about it, though, you run away, you try to do, kind of a Noah or maybe even a Nepenthes, right, kind of job, or, just hiding out. It's not going to work because you're respawning. It's perfectly fine. Go for the attacks.
Right, you have to go for the attacks because that's what generates the points here. And I think what you have to look for is, okay, I'm going to get eliminated eventually, right? Let me see if I can get 3, maybe even 4 players per time that I go down. Because as it looks, you don't stay down for very long. You respawn pretty quickly here. It's just a matter of getting as many elims as you can before you go down here. And again, this does end when a player hits a certain amount of elims. So we'll have to take a look here. We will know when it ends when you do. We, of course, do not get to see the kill counts or the elim counts. I know that Techno has been doing well. TBNR Frags, though, I think currently is sitting at the top. So that is going to be the one to look at. Moxie's got a number of elims as well. And it is
Are you
them.
kidding me? So this is great. They
Wow.
come through and they take over the victory. This, I was going to say, more so than watching in spectator mode, I would have absolutely loved to have watched XQC and Moxie stream.
Oh my gosh.
With them calling out
With
during
how
that.
chaotic that was
And
as
they
well.
won. Oh my gosh. They would have been falling out of their seats.
Oh, for sure. They've got to be at this point. They're probably, ecstatic at the fact that they just won that game. And that's going to be what? By definition, their second win in terms of PvP, which is very, very impressive, right, to get to that extent. And I'm not sure what the second place position was looking like in terms of that particular game, but I know we had the scoreboards pretty much tallied. This one's already through, and Moxie XQC very well deserved as they will overtake that first place position that was previously and for a short time earned by Captain Sparkles and Beijing Canadian off of that Find the Button performance where they found a record-breaking 36. They are sitting firmly in that second place position. Just below them, though, Log.Zip, TBNR Frags, and fourth, we've got Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy, who are looking fantastic after the first few games. And also in the mix in that top five, we've got newly added Rec DJ and Forginal. We talked about at 9 in terms of coming into this event. One of the newly added teams just ahead. We saw Fire Breath and Co. do a lovely job, or rather, they pretty much were added late in the tournament. They had a super solid performance, and could they kind of live up to that expectation? They're hanging on pretty well.
They are, and anytime that you get a late edition, oftentimes it is people who are known in the Minecraft community and are good, so I'm not at all surprised to see them do as well. What I am surprised, though, Moxie and XQC, the question now becomes for me, their weakness has been the parkour modes.
Yep.
We still have two of those coming up here very shortly. Can they stay close enough? That's the real question.
Yeah, absolutely is.
It is a real question, and I want to say, by the way, everybody, given the fact that how scores have been going back and forth, honestly, even 9th place, Vicstar and Zerka at 389 points, trailing behind, 590 of Moxie and XQC. With the way that points have been swinging wildly, we can even see them come back. So I will say, even though you're in first, any of the top 10 players could have a massive upswing in points from game modes that we weren't expecting to maybe carry as much weight as they are.
Here we go, our first round of 3, loading in towards some TNT Run, and this was a dominant performance from Mr. Technoblade last week, right, guys? When he was constantly in that conversation. How many rounds? Did he win all 3? I was gonna say, I know it was at least 2, but regardless, though, that guy, unbelievable. We'll see if he can kind of carry that one on again. As like we talked about, 3 rounds, a lot of points to be earned. For the most part, in TNT Run, you only earn points off of surviving. So once you get kind of toward that top echelon, making sure that you do not drop early is key. As we narrowly saw Danger, unfortunately, run in that situation and thankfully survives again. C-Scoop, everybody fighting for that real estate.
This is the time Moxie XQC really need to focus up to maintain their #1 spot because they have plenty of great competitors coming up behind them. Captain Sparkles, Beijing Canadian, Log.Zip, Preston as well. Bad Boy Halo, Skeppy, they're all in the running. And Skeppy on your screen as we speak. A very talented competitor, but he's pretty high up, and there's not going to be a lot of blocks below him. Actually, I think he's on that 3rd level already, so he's got to manage his blocks appropriately because obviously staying up top is very beneficial as we are going to lose 1.
Just 4 left to make it 3. Techno still at the very top level, I believe, and he's going to now jump back down here on his own terms. Just 3 left. Who are the others? We can't even see, and Techno makes it 4 for 4.
4 in a row from last week to this week. 9, that's insanity.
It is. I cannot believe it right now. We have never seen a run, and he jumped down to the 2nd level because he wanted to.
Yeah.
He didn't even get down to the 3rd level.
That's it actually is crazy.
And in chat he says, "Can we have 5 rounds of this?" He's like, "Give me the points."
He would say that. Jeez. And now, but the thing is,
where did XQC and Co go at?
XQC, but also J-Schlatt. because we
that's
know
true.
your partner being involved in this and surviving makes a huge difference in your point count.
Well, that was the thing we talked about last week. It was a matter of, okay, we were at the certain standings. I think Technoblade and Call Me Carson were in like 3rd or 4th. We look back at the standings after Technoblade wins 3 games straight, and he went down to 4th. Like, that should not happen for obvious reasons. And the fact that after winning all 3 games, the most you can possibly
It's
do,
like-
he still went down
It's
in
like
points.
I'm doing everything I can do, Carson. Why are we still not moving up on the leaderboard? I'd
Oh,
be
man.
so mad.
I would be too.
It's a hard life they live.
But it's so funny, though, you know, with Techno, if you watch his content, like, he just doesn't get mad. Like, he's always super chill, and he's, like, one of the best competitors whenever it comes to Minecraft. It's a deadly combo. It reminds me of, like, a Shroud, you know, right? Because, you know, Shroud is, like, always pulling off these amazing plays, and he's just totally chill afterwards. He's like, okay,
Yep.
that was awesome.
Yeah,
And you know, Techno's probably like, oh, I just won 4 games in a row from last week winning 3 in a row. Yeah. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Just another day at the office, if you will. Nothing really surprises him all that much as we get a nice little shout out to Jerome. He waves to the viewers at home. Bad Boy Halo, Skeppy, a few players just off in the distance. We got Travs, Forginal, a lot of players up in that mix. And Beige Canadian fighting for position versus Zerka right now. I know he and Vicstar, unfortunately, have been falling in the standings and falling off the map. There's a lot of teams starting to have a super solid performance in Filza. Oh my gosh. Crazy reactions at that moment when you're falling down a number of different levels. The composure
Yeah.
to find that real estate necessary. Just great work coming in from him as we're down toward our final 6 players. I know we know at least 5 of them. And there goes possibly another one, but no, nice plays up close. Technoblade, not a whole lot of blocks left to stand on. He is aware of what is just below him.
he's
But you see,
chilling.
like I said, just casually going around the outside.
Yeah,
Round the outside, Taylor.
I like that. Bringing it back, okay. Is that a 90s song or early 2000? It's one
Who
of them.
knows? It's something.
But I think that's yeah, it's Eminem. 9. I know we can appreciate this. Lack was like, hey, Techno, your quads are going to be massive after dominating TNT Run as much as you have, with as much jumping as he's been doing.
We see another one fall, so it's just Fitzy, Fitz, and Techno now. Can the massive quads carry a little further? Fitz has a lot of blocks here, so Fitz might have more blocks than Techno here, although it looks like Techno has also moved towards the middle. Who is going to run out?
He's got
Who is
an
going to
escape.
maintain?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, 5 for 5. Can you believe it?
5 in a row.
Shoot.
Jeez.
And look at all the blocks he still had to work
He's
with.
still jumping.
How is he typing while also jumping at the same time? He literally types in 5 in a row, baby, as he's jumping. I don't understand it. Let's see if he can make it 6 for 6. That's really the big storyline at this moment. And after we look at this at the scores, I'll be honest, the pressure's on Jay Schlatt. If he's not been performing and Technoblade goes down in the standings, literally no progress has been made after winning 6 games straight. I'm gonna be frustrated.
We just see at the bottom, Jay Schlatt is logged out.
Literally.
Right then, Techno somehow got all the way over to Jay Schlatt at that point.
Jay Schlatt. I haven't even seen him. I'll be honest. Well, I mean,
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's what worries me, right?
It worries me.
I'm trying to find
personally.
him right, and obviously there's
There's
98
so many
players to
people.
look
If
at
I knew his
right now, but-
avatar that he was running.
So we see Techno in the forefront of the screen. Fills us still.
Logged
See
out
Jack.
He's gonna be on the right.
So he's got to be in the 2nd or 3rd.
Oh,
at
there's
this moment.
Techno. Okay.
Right. So Technoblade's
Oh!
here. Okay. Hey, no big deal. Hey, no problem.
Oh! How did he get out of that?
Who knows?
Techno never dies.
Apparently so. This is
I
the
really
earliest.
have not seen Jay Schlatt once.
No, I don't think anybody is still at the top level right now. I think this is the scariest of all the modes so far. We're seeing already a lot dropping.
So it's interesting, not right? He uses each block, whereas I see a lot of players they just continuously run, whereas Techno is consistently dropping on each individual block.
That is the strat.
Players could learn from him.
I think we all could.
I think we all could. Well, the composure, too, to understand and trust that you don't have to sprint any more than you need to, I think is a big moment here. And the pathing and allowing yourself to go where you
Wow.
need to, as we see the big gap over here. So anyone wanting to take a drop down is going to have a very difficult time of doing so. And all eyes on this man right now. Just 10 left. Can he outlast 9 people? He has a lot of real estate to work with.
Oh, and there goes a few other ones. Now down to our final 6. Technoblade hanging on the outside.
this.
just
There's no
by
way.
a thread.
He's got it.
But Fitzy Fitz still hanging on, right? The second place player from last game. One of his main competitors is one drops, and we are down to the same 1v1 we had just previously.
Oh, he
And
dropped.
Technoblade does drop down, and he does not have a whole lot of blocks, but it doesn't matter. Technoblade, 6 games in a row, flawless, 2 weeks in a row. This man cannot be stopped when it comes in a TNT run, an explosive performance, and one that I hope will catapult him in the standings a little bit.
That's what we're all saying right now is
Oh,
just,
man.
can he please gain on the top? Can he please? What was he in last? What, 6th was he in?
Let's go.
On the one before this?
It was like 6, 7. He was out of
He
the top
was
5.
in, let's see, he was, oh my gosh, I can't find him. I'm choking.
He was
Ladies
out of
and
the top 5 for sure.
Yeah, no, he was number 6.
Number
Behind-
6.
461 and 49.
Please.
Is he? Please tell me he is at least 5th. If not, then this is going to be tragic.
Oh, gosh. Here
Judges,
we
the scores. 4th place, yes!
Okay, that's fair.
There is justice in the world.
He
We'll
moved
take
up.
it.
He moved up.
We'll take it. Absolutely. We will take it every day of the week. Whew. Good work, Jay Schlatt. All right. All is good. All is fine in the world. As long as they moved up, that's all that matters. And still, right, they're on the heels right now of Log.Zip and TV and our frags. Just ahead, though, Moxie, XQC. They're hanging in there. Captain Sparkles and Beijing Canadian, though, still with that 749 overall score. But we talk about parkour. It's fun. It's interesting. And now we're going to be heading in toward another major parkour type of game mode in terms of Run from Lava. And this is quickly turning into one of my favorite game modes that we have to look out for in terms of the overall 8. I know we have 9, but Hunger Games gets played twice, but this is, for me, one of my favorites to look out for in terms of the way that it works, the way that it lines out. So I'm curious to see who will kind of be in that front-runner position, because last week we didn't have Vicstar. So Vicstar, I think, is going to be in the mix. Preston, we're also going to have, obviously, Technoblade. I'm curious who maybe kind of is that 4th, 5th player to maybe be around those lines, but for the most part, those 3 guys have constantly been dominating this course.
It's been the 3. I mean, honestly, I can't think of anyone else who's really made it as far as them.
Well, if we remember that first week,
Beijing
Beijing was
you're
the
right.
second one to finish back in the first week that we saw this. And Jerome as well. I think this is Jerome and Phil's strongest mode.
Yeah.
So I think the 2 of them will be up there. Moxie and XQC, though. This is where they have to come up. We said that this
Exactly.
was going to be the hardest stretch for them. 2 parkour modes in a row. We saw they lost their top spot there, and they lost it by about 30 points.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can keep pace here. If they go down early, they might drop from that 2nd spot even.
Yeah, that's what worries me. That,
Oh,
that
100%.
definitely worries me, right? Because, I mean,
Because you're earning points per course that you complete.
so we're Run from Lava here. Next up, Build Battle, then Spleef. Spleef, I think they'll do decently well. They did
Right.
decently well last week, too. But if they don't capitalize here from Run from Lava and then Build Battle and Spleef, going into Hunger Games, it's going to be negligible. And we're not going to see them be able to maintain,
Yeah.
that number 1, number 2 spot.
Because it's nice, right? You had that Hunger Games to kind of rely on, but if they start to fall, right, this is their moment. This is the moment if you're a fan of XQC, which there's a lot of people out there who obviously are, of he and Moxie together. This is the time where you could argue this is the point where they're supposed to drop a little bit. If
Yep.
they can hold on, to where they're at right now, stay, I think top 3, top 4 would be great if they can kind of hang around that position. Now, obviously, the higher the better. If they can kind of keep this momentum moving forward, they're going to be in a wonderful position when it comes down to the PvP mode at the end. As here comes the lava, here come the competitors, and who is our front runner right now? After all things considered, it is going to be Technoblade in combination with a few others looking to try and make their way through. I think I saw Vicstar, we see TV in our frag, C-Scoop as well, all of them in the mix as we are already on to the icy level. We got to remember, right, toward the end of this course, there was a jump
Yeah.
that was constantly causing problems for Preston and Technoblade. We'll see if that is going to be a reoccurring situation because they started to solve it at the very end as the lava was at their back. They started to kind of figure out exactly what to do. I'm curious if that will be a trend or if one that maybe can be accomplished this week.
We've not seen Lauren already? No, Lauren, run!
Lauren, you got this. You got this, Lauren, please.
If Lauren falls here, that's it.
Oh.
A couple more tries. A couple more
Please,
tries.
Lauren. You got this. You got this. The heroic jump. Oh,
no!
no.
She's got probably, what, 2, 3 more, maybe 2 more tries, I would
Yeah.
say, especially if she starts to make it pretty far.
Maybe even one more.
Yeah. Oh, no. This might be it. Lauren.
Oh, she's got to jump because as soon as the lava hits you, you're done for.
Oh,
No,
Lauren!
Oh, no.
Is this it?
Jump. Oh, my gosh. This is it. This is the moment. This is the moment, Lauren.
Come on.
This is where dreams are made of. Minecraft Monday. No.
Lauren.
No.
Lauren. She's going. She's gone.
Fades off.
That hurts.
It does.
That hurts.
That's unfortunate.
Is that the first one?
That is.
Man.
How sad. I honestly, I'm depressed after that.
Yeah.
Apparently she does too.
I hate this, she says. And like we talk about, right, when it comes down to dropping to the lava, pretty much everyone's on your side because as players start to fall to the lava, it does increase the speed of the lava over time. So while you're also kind of competing against everyone, everyone's also kind of disappointed or kind of angry that Lauren drops because now that lava is only going to increase in speeds. They've got to be careful with that. And in terms of what the last two, maybe even the last like few weeks, no one's actually completed the course because of how fast the lava has been.
Yeah, that lava, it moves quickly. And it was actually, like you said, only the first week where people were able to complete it. But it's almost like you're wanting to go as fast as you possibly can and you're wanting to beat everybody, but you're also hoping everybody kind of lives long enough for you to make it to the end. Techno is struggling.
He's aggressive, too.
I was going to say, he's not waiting is the issue here. And I think he just tossed that away. He had 3 or 4 opportunities here and just wait for it there. Okay, platforming basics, and there we go. Did let Preston catch up over the course of that after he built up a sizable lead. But once again, guys, it's the same 2 front runners. It's like Steve Ovett and Dave Waddle back in the days of the 1500. Gotta love it.
Trying to make their way, trying to maneuver through the invisible courses. Oh no, there goes Jaden Nader. A valiant attempt, but I know their competitor is taken down, and the lava will only be gaining more and more speed. And speaking of speed, violence, momentum. No, this is TBNR for X. This is our man right here, already through to the diamond stage. Has to be careful, right, in terms of holding on to that position. We've talked about it, you know, in terms of Technoblade. Very aggressive play style, at least when it comes down to jumping. That could be somewhat of his early downfall, but we've seen a ton of different players, and every single week of Run from Lava struggle, right? You start to struggle a little bit in terms of one particular course. One jump just starts to slip you up. It looks as if for TBNR Frags, though, all is well. Completes that one and moves on.
Preston's doing very well this week, to say the least. Couple mistakes, but it's all right. I think he's still first one ahead of everybody. Now the invisible blocks comes through. He knows exactly where they're going to be at on those orange platforms, and there it is. Now, I do think you do get a bonus for being the first one to complete each level, so I will say Preston is definitely gaining some points, gaining some momentum, but Techno just behind him.
Yeah, and this is where the drops and the misses start to become very, very costly here, as you see Vicstar keeping pace, the same 3 that we talked about here, because it takes a lot longer to run back here than it does in the earlier levels, too. So, again, every single one of these mistakes, very costly and very nice. Techno going to go for the ladder grab. And we saw Preston go way back, a little bit more conservative, I think, than the way that Techno wanted to take this. And we'll see if Techno opts to do it a little differently this time. And he does go for the aggressive play, and it doesn't work again. So, guys, some strategy differences here, maybe being the difference in these 2 racers.
Oh, we lost another. Oh, excuse me, the lava enters the icy stage, so definitely moving forward. Still plenty of players left. There's 38, so that lava's not moving too incredibly quick, but definitely one of the worst weeks for Techno, to say the least. Vicstar just behind. Highlight play for Preston. Yeah, this is looking very tough.
And for a lot of players, or rather a lot of viewers who've watched this, like, oh, it's really not that difficult. This is very difficult. like they make it look oh so effortless. Just even do this, right? But it actually is. My goodness, it is so difficult to try and get these timings down. Like I said, they make it look easy from week to week, but man, these guys put in a lot of time when it comes into Minecraft and when it comes down to their jumps, right? When it comes down to their parkour abilities. And looks at Preston right now struggling with the ladders on how to really kind of transfer from one to the next, and these are valuable seconds that he's losing right now, guys.
This hurts me, though, because it looks so easy, right? But like you said, it's so incredibly difficult to just go literally just a couple of pixels over to his left and grab onto that ladder. And there he goes. Finally, he's going to be able to get it.
Yeah.
All right. He makes it to the top and then drops down, maybe?
Oh, no.
Afmoo, you hate to see it.
Cupquake.
Jade Nader watching.
Jaden's rooting on. He's like, come on, Cupquake, you got this. And then Cupquake saying, no, look behind you. Just look behind you at the lava. It's only inbound. And it's only going to upgrade, right, with 2 players about to be consumed. It's starting to become pretty much hot on the heels of everybody else. TBNR for Axe, Preston, being careful. Trying to know the timings, and that's so frustrating after those blocks going away. And look at that, Technoblade entering in the exact same stage that Preston is right now.
Wow. I got to say, Techno was never too far behind, despite maybe, you know, the aggressive plays not looking as good. There's going to be Yami. Unfortunately, they're going to go down. There's another player with Yami, I do. Actually, is there 3 players right there?
Zerka. There's. Wait, is that Jay Schlatt? I could be wrong. I saw a J. I don't know.
If that's Jay Schlatt, though, he did fairly well.
I don't know, honestly. I really don't. I thought I saw a J. I could be wrong. So there's like 4 players that were all pretty much stacked right next to each other, but it's only going to upgrade the lava, right? It's only going to keep it going faster.
Okay.
And I'm glad that we're actually taking a look at XQC here, right? This was one of the guys we were discussing. If they can start to make it through, if they can hold on to these kind of middle positions, kind of toward the middle portion of this late game, they're going to be in a really good spot. So we'll see if they can kind of move forward throughout the levels. As Beige and a few others starting to enter in toward the levels of like Mesa and Diamond and Co.
Honestly, if I'm XQC and Moxie, I'm just going to be satisfied with getting, what, 50, 60 points maybe out of this. And I think that's going to be enough. Are you going to be able to maintain, you know, the first position? Probably not. But you want to be able to capitalize as much as you possibly can on your weakest maps. And unfortunately, XQC cannot find the way to make it work. But Preston obviously can, as he continues to move forward. And he is doing so incredibly well. Ever since his addition a couple of weeks back, I got to say, he has definitely shined in many ways. But is that
starting
Dolan?
to move. It's starting to move, too.
Oh, no. Dolan Dark, he's done.
Like, these are starting, like, the lava's starting to be twice as fast as players are competing courses. And that's the worrisome part. As it starts to take more players over time, can we finally see, after this will be the 3rd week, a player finally complete this course without being overtaken from the lava? And that only puts pressure on the front runners like Technoblade and TBNR Frags. And even Vicstar, depending.
Yeah.
We're on, what, the construction level right now? So
Yeah.
after this, it goes construction, and then I believe we have, what, the Nether and then the end?
I believe so.
So there aren't many right here, so it's just a matter of can TBNR Frags here figure out a way around this? Because, again, you want as much distance as you can, and it looks like Techno has caught up, so they are in the same level. This has been the jump that has tripped him up this whole time. And really, Techno just needs to get past this obstacle, and we'll have what's really a tie game.
Ooh.
Now the Mesa stage.
He's going so fast.
He is. He's not waiting at all. And I believe there are a lot of good competitors left on the Mesa stage. And it does look like TBNR Frags finally figures out a way past this just as Techno catches up. These two always locked in at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Oh, what a jump. That
what
was
a
like, what,
jump.
first try? Oh. That was we all just had a sigh right there. It was like, oh, he gets it accomplished, and then, oh, man, that's unfortunate. But Techno still moving forward, lands that jump nearly every time, but just cannot get the second one. And like we talked about, you just kind of get in the motion of wanting to try and get this one through. The frustration, I'm sure that it's inbound, is not easy, as there goes Connor XQC.
No.
So XQC finally does get found out, but my goodness, that lava is starting to move, gaining 2 more players and not stopping. TBNR Frags just entered in toward the Nether stage.
S-Major, it was fun, Bayesian. It was fun. I think he knows it's the end. Yeah. But Preston, just about. So we have, what, this course?
And then the end.
And then the end, right? So we haven't had anyone complete.
But this is the stage where they struggled with the jumps.
Is this that block?
This is the one.
Is
So it's not this one.
specific
but
one,
but it's
it
the
is
one
here.
just up above, right?
Because it was with the Soul Stone, the slowness that it obviously provides you. Players
Oh,
could
no.
not figure out how to move forward, and there's that iron stage. Players starting to fall. I think somebody actually tried to jump and were overtaken by the lava while that was done. As we're starting to see it
Lava
enter in
and
toward the diamond now here.
You have to think that really there's only 2 people with a legitimate chance of finishing this now. I believe that Techno is the only one who is at the stage before this, the construction stage. I don't think anyone else is there even. And now the diamond.
There's
But this Moxie making it to diamond might be what keeps them close here. Because that's going to be a top 15 finish for Moxie. Getting to diamond means you finished at least a few. And Techno's still stuck over on this specific jump. And I don't know if he can't get the jump in time or what this is,
Yeah.
but this has got to be frustrating. Just
There's
like
Vic.
last week, it's one jump, slowing them down and getting overtaken by Vic. These are big points.
I think this might be where Techno and Vic go down, and Preston might be the reigning champ at least this week whenever it comes to run from lava. Because, yeah, you know, the lava it moves slowly at first, but when those players start going down, especially on advanced levels where, you know, some of these players, they just cannot parkour well enough, that lava starts increasing so incredibly fast at a point where you just cannot catch up and you just can't move forward. So this could be the end.
Oh, it
say
very
the
well could
least.
be.
And that's like a train. That's
Sounds like
intimidating.
one.
It does, doesn't it?
It's in the Emerald. I think that's one away, if not two away from construction, which is where we see two players still
Nice.
up. And that's a nice jump from Team Our Frags. But like we said, it's not even been that far, this jump. It's the ones prior to it. Team Our Frags, how careful. Oh, man, he's got to be so aware of these jumps and players. Like we said, they're so aggressive right now. They're so aware of the lava that's just behind them. And that could be causing some frustration, as I would imagine. Vicstar finally makes it through, it looks like. But I'm not sure if Technoblade is just ahead of him or not in the mine stage. So officially one away from construction. Techno. And it looks as if Seed Scoop has made it here as well. Starting to have somewhat of an issue. Log.zip just makes it into construction, so some extra points for him. Unfortunately, we'll be waving goodbye toward Captain Sparkles, is going to hang on as long as he can toward the ladder. Oh, and actually, Super Travs makes it into construction as well. Here's Vic. There we go. Now enters in the same one as TNT Run Frags. Can he complete this one? The same jump that his buddy has been having issues on so many times prior. And there we go. Lava's in construction.
What if he just passes Preston? How mad would Preston be? Like, are you kidding?
Oh.
If Vicstar would have made that.
I think Techno's about to go down.
Yeah, I think it's over for Techno, unfortunately, which is surprising. Yeah, that's it. Wow, unbelievable for the first time. And has Techno? He has been beat.
He's
before,
always made it past this.
but he's always made it past.
He's always made it past this one.
Wow.
Outside of the 1 week where the lava randomly turned up and destroyed
well,
everybody. But outside of that week, he's always made it at least to the end stage, or rather, excuse me, to the Nether stage.
So that is one behind where the lava's at, and there's a lava. You're going to see it moving in on your screen. So
Intimidating is that.
yeah, that's it. This is like the last chance, but I think, yeah.
As he jumps, he'll probably be done for. Yep, that's it. Good effort, boys. Good try. But the run from Lava Course, man, it's difficult. It's not easy to try and get through, as they will be done here shortly. Right, that lava's starting to come down, and it's only inevitable. Overtaken and through as Phil's holding on to the ladder, just trying to stay alive for as long as he can, trying to deny what we all know is the end result. And Bajan calling out, there's no survival points. You're not going to earn anything extra on the lava. Has entered in the end stage. It's about to be done. We'll obviously pull up the timer for the end stage, how quickly this game is going to end out. And that's going to nearly do it. So, hey, like I said, no points earned from this one. They can kind of hang out for as long as they want. They're not going to earn any stage points. Phil's, I'm sure, once he climbs the ladder, isn't going to be able to do any double jumps in that situation.
I love how everybody's calling, like, disgraceful, jump, you're not earning any points. And then Fortuno just comes through and was just like, Cheetos! Like, like what?
All right, well.
There's always that one guy.
Always. There is. Always that one person. I've been called that person before. So
I was about to relate to that as well.
Wow, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Especially here.
Yeah, I do randomly yell certain things, but who knows what could be coming up next? Maybe even the scoreboard, possibly. We'll get ready to take a look at that one and see where our teams are lining out after game number 6 is in the books. It looks as if it is Log.zip and TNT Run Frags holding on to a narrow lead. Just behind them, though, sits Captain Sparkles and Bajan Canadian. And there we go, guys. Technoblade, J Schlatt, and Moxie and XQC just behind. We were discussing in that commercial break, can they do well when it comes down to the parkour courses? They're still in 4th right now, so all things considered, they're hanging on pretty well.
Yeah, definitely so. Getting pretty close. I got to say, we're getting down to our final 3 games. Things are going to get interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, all the way through here toward game number 7. We're going to throw it to a quick commercial break. When we return, it's time for some build battle.
What if I had my own G Fuel flavor?
Introducing Cotton Candy G Fuel. Get it now at gfuel.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Minecraft Monday, week number 6. We are live here from the UMG studio. Myself, Leonard, joined in part by Reflections 9-Hole Grands. Guys, we're getting ready to hop into game number 7, a new mode, actually. We're getting ready to hop into Build Battle.
Yeah, Build Battle is going to be interesting, and I know you can explain it best. I'm going to try my best to say the least, but I know it's going to be 10 minutes. Players are going to have to build whatever structure that they want, and that structure at the end is going to be voted upon by the players themselves. So that's going to be an interesting point to say the least, because it is a team game mode. Clearly, you're going to want to vote for your own team. So will we have anybody who's going to trade or be a trader, if you will, and vote for somebody else's team? But it's going to be cool. 10 minutes, best build. Let's see who wins it.
And I like that this kind of brings back what a lot of us started off Minecraft as, right? Creative mode. going through and building the biggest and
Yeah.
most magnificent structure that you
Yeah.
possibly could. And I think that in all of these mini games that have kind of highlighted different strengths of Minecraft, different things we love about it, there was never really anything for the builders. We had bingo, which was kind of the exploration and whatnot, but now the builders out there, maybe some people who aren't as good at PvP, aren't as good at the parkour modes, have a chance now to show their skill in Minecraft, which is to be builders, architects, artists.
Exactly, and the creativeness, as you mentioned, like so, like creative, obviously, but like having those juices being able to flow, right? Being aware of the situation ahead of you, and what the category is going to be as well, because they have to build something that is given, right? To what is the category, whatever someone decides to go ahead and choose, they have to build based off of that, and the way that you earn points is based off of other players, as you mentioned, Taylor, right? Voting on your overall choice. I played many games like this in the past. Not good at it whatsoever. Not,
You're creative, though. I would say. You
okay.
no, I'm serious.
appreciate
You
that.
do some graphics. I see your creativity shining
you.
through
I
a lot of the
appreciate that.
times. The most creative person, I don't know, but I mean, you are creative. I
Thank you.
couldn't say that you're. I'm not creative.
Well, okay, you can call me creative, but in terms of being Minecraft creative, just not there. It doesn't happen for me. It does not work out very well.
You did build a very beautiful house.
In Minecraft?
The
Thank
other
you.
day. You
I
remember
did.
that house?
Mhm, I did.
remember that day. You even had like
It's
a
pretty nice.
pool and like a balcony and everything, man.
I built
You're not
the-
going to win on a house, but
Yeah.
Unless the category is house.
unless the category
If
is
the category is house, I don't know what to expect. And my
Could you make-
curiosity is, or go ahead. Sorry,
I was just going to say, could you make pixel house or a pixel art of House MD?
Oh,
Because I would vote for that.
like House MD, like the show,
Yeah.
just a person.
Yeah.
That's creative.
just yeah.
9. That's
Yeah!
creative. So yeah, we want you to draw we want you to make a house, House MD. That would be next level. Are you kidding me? That would be actually awesome.
Theme: Life's a beach.
So I guess it's kind of free to like whatever you want to make based off of that.
So I mean, there's a ton of different things. You could go with a cabana here. You could go with some nice palm trees, maybe
That's
a little
true.
volleyball court. I don't know. What do you guys think of when you think of the beach?
I went to Hawaii once.
Thank you for this addition to the conversation, Taylor. Wow.
No, God,
Are you
fix
going to
it.
offer me any help over the course
What are
of
you gonna
this?
build, Taylor? I went to Hawaii once.
Are you going to offer us any help?
I love the theme though they have kind of around them here. It's like a resort with someone on the shore, so they kind of have the mentality. It's not just a random Minecraft world. They actually have the ability to kind of work on a few things. So I know we're taking a look at Captain Sparkles and Bajan right now. Right, we talk about Bajan Canadian, Mr. Minecraft. What do they have? Maybe in the schemes. What do they have in mind for their call? I know they were just given information. Like as soon as they load in, it's okay. Here's the topic. What you do. So they've got to be prepared for this. And I'm thinking that maybe these could be some chairs. Maybe I have no idea. I could be totally wrong on that one.
Oh, I like they're going for the different designs here.
There you
This
go.
is good points. But wait
Yep.
a minute. Not symmetrical. Maybe I should have built that
You
one a little
actually
further.
called them out on that.
These are the things I'm thinking as I watch, okay? Now, maybe I should find a way to get into judging this category.
This is like Pictionary for us. Like I don't know.
Oh, it's an umbrella.
Is it?
I don't know. You know those beach umbrellas?
Yeah, but it'd be an interesting umbrella. Is this like? Oh, okay.
So this is
okay.
volleyball
Yep.
net. Yep, yep.
Perfect. XQC knew exactly what that was.
Oh,
Lovely job.
I like it.
And I believe Moxie was building a sandcastle of sorts. I saw some sandstone going down. So
Nice.
you have to imagine that's there. And they're building something you might be able to see from above, actually. Either that or they're making the most grandiose. Oh, my gosh. This could be immaculate, whatever they're trying to make.
It's gonna be interesting as time goes on to see what their idea, what their mentality is. I'm sure XQC maybe is googling something. Is this gonna be a water slide?
Yes.
I'm hoping that that's the case. I could be totally off on that, but that's exactly what I thought off the start.
Slip and slide, water
Ooh.
slide, all sorts of things.
I'm all for it, especially if they added real water. That'd be key.
Oh, it's a pole. I'm so dumb when it comes to this. I am starting to realize. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to, like, what are they making? First thing
What are we
it's a
thinking?
lawn chair.
Oh,
It's one of those chairs,
Yep.
the beach chair.
it's true.
I'm not as dumb as I thought
we
I was.
thought it was a pool. We thought it was a slide. No,
It's a
just
chair.
it's just launcher. I will
So
say,
they're making-
very accurate.
They're making giant furniture. Very interesting here.
I like that.
There's
Good call.
multiple mentalities. And, I think it's a matter of having to
Oh.
decide very quickly what you want to do so that you can make whatever it is as
Yep.
big and bold as you possibly can.
This is quickly turning into one of my favorite modes. Like this is actually incredible to like watch everybody try to be as creative as they really can. And I think this may be a coast, possibly Yami just decides to go ahead and make some changes to the map. And I'm not sure what that may be off in the distance. I'm assuming it's like a sandcastle type thing that seems to be the trend, but
A sandcastle would be pretty cool. I'm very curious. Okay. What do we do, guys? Carson, what do you want to build? I don't know.
I feel like they're actually having a conversation in real time right now to each other.
Jeez.
How's your day going, bro? It's going fine. You
His
want to do
skin.
this? Not really.
His skin on his character. I have yet to find out whose face that is.
Okay, so now they're starting. Okay, you know what? 4 minutes, no big deal. They can do this. They can make this happen, right? 4 minutes, a little bit late.
Guys, I'm beginning to think that maybe we should go off of this. I don't know exactly what they're trying to build.
Stay the course.
But
Stay the course.
yeah, last time we saw that, we had.
It's going to be a picture. I think it's going to be a picture of some sort.
Maybe they heard the pixel art idea, but
I love that
This
volleyball
is
court.
nice. This is great.
all right. Oh, so here we have Techno and J-Slat. So they too have
they
built
fighting
a volleyball
someone?
course. So it looks like they're trying to do a little terraforming here, getting something down there. So they have restructured the beach itself. They've built a tree that I'm assuming is supposed to be a palm tree,
Yep, that's fair.
and they've
Fair
built
estimate.
some area over there where they can maybe sit down and lay back, watch the tide roll in.
I
So
actually learned recently,
Yeah.
speaking of palm trees, that every single palm tree that's actually in Florida is not originally to
No
Florida.
way.
They're just planted.
Stop it.
They're
From where?
planted. They're planted. Means
know-
they come from different places.
Clearly, from where?
wait,
Where do they
is
originate
that supposed
from?
to be a jellyfish?
Palm trees? I
Oh
don't know.
no!
Oh, man.
Look at all the creepers.
Wait, where did
Well, there you go.
Who is this?
Is this
Who is this? Afama.
all right?
So what? What is the theme here?
Maybe she's stranded on an island, and so
Okay,
she's
okay.
kind of causing an SOS effect.
Okay.
Did we just? What just occurred? Did someone just like enter the room or something? Like,
You know-
as the final boss? Oh, look at this!
Is this a Technoblade tribute? I think this is a Technoblade tribute.
It could be.
Yes, Techno Pig.
It could be.
Yes.
They're gonna earn Technoblade's pick. That's for sure. Okay, so we were just given information that Technoblade, in the midst of trying to be in the water, may or may have not just attracted the Wither. So we'll just move on. No, it's no big deal. It's not really that big of a deal.
Apparently it is.
So it could come through and just destroy the entirety of his builds, but we'll just move on the fact that probably not.
Techno-
It's fine.
He needed a challenge. Look, come on, he needed a challenge.
He's like, you know what, I'm gonna get this done pretty early on. Let's just go and take on the Wither while we're at it. No big deal.
I mean, he is a fighter.
He is. He is
Let it be
indeed.
known. And apparently he's also a botanist here.
This is nice.
Takes up bonsai. In the meantime,
Oh,
though,
look at this. This is lovely.
Oh, it's
This
a
is-
lighthouse?
either that or a buoy. I like it.
It's a buoy.
Good call 9.
And look, there's a lifesaver out there in the distance.
This is lovely.
Lifesaver's one of my favorite candies.
And look, they've even spawned villagers so that there are people inhabiting this area. This gets my vote so far.
This for me is winning it.
He's having a good old time over in the
And they also built a volleyball.
Oh,
what?
That is the coolest.
This is
Are you,
incredible.
an octopus or a
Log.
squid with the freaking sombrero?
And they've even spawned villagers within the grasp of it.
Oh, man.
Come on.
This is my new favorite.
This is my favorite by
At least based
far.
off of the one design. Now, the overall idea of it all has got to change up a little bit. But I
It
like
is-
this one.
It is pretty barren outside of that, but there's
is.
time. There is time.
There is for
Like
sure.
Preston admiring his work, and I think he's going to move on to something else.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the little hat that it has. That's a nice little.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Carson.
That's what their whole thing was with this.
Jeez.
This is incredible.
Of course.
Taylor,
What-
what is Prime? Do you know what that is? I don't know what that is.
You know what Prime is?
What is Prime? What is Twitch Prime? I don't know what that is.
Well, let me tell you something. We do have a sub button. With Twitch Prime, you can sub to our channel. Don't do it.
No, do it. Go ahead. Doesn't matter. It's fine. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left. James, what has James Charles been up to? Maybe building a nice little beach house, possibly.
It's, a nice,
Fortunately, there's no furniture in it, so I'm not sure how many people would want to stay there. But hey, spawning some villagers.
it's only a minute and a half left.
What's he trying to build here?
A jacuzzi.
That's exactly what I was
Ooh,
about to say.
Good call.
Uh-huh.
A
Good call.
Hot tub, and they put actual squid
I
here.
want to, but we
Nice.
need to see Techno. Let's go back to Techno because Techno clearly was in some. He was having some problems, and on top of that, he was also making a massive tribute to himself.
Oh my gosh.
Who is this?
They actually made somebody
Whoa.
sitting there with all of the.
This is beautiful.
This is Dan and Think Noodles. What a play.
This
And
is
I
absolutely.
gotta say,
beautiful.
probably most of their time was spent on trying to spot all these squid, but they're building characters very well. Like they've got a shrine. It looks as if going. I have to turn my head actually.
Oh my gosh.
I think maybe that's somebody whose head is above the sand and everything else
Yep.
below it.
Good call. Good
So,
call.
Buried under there. This
They
is
also have a lifeguard post, maybe in the far left.
Yes.
I think that's what that is.
wonderful. Looking back over to
I just realized that
Techno,
was a
and
pail in the sand.
It is
There
a
was-
pail in the
I
sand.
mean, the earlier one that we just saw, there was a pail in the sand. That was lovely.
So this is Techno.
And this is a little
Where's this leading to?
a little bear in there. They've made a cabana house there. Techno has spawned himself diamond armor.
Nice.
So
As
you know,
would.
it's just 15 seconds
Oh,
left.
this is nice. This is solid.
I
This
like
is
that.
good.
This is
But
gonna
it
be
doesn't have
difficult to beat.
characters. The other guy had characters.
I mean, he had villagers. Oh,
No,
okay.
remember they drew the character on the
That's
chair
true.
they're sitting there, right? So
That's
this one
true.
doesn't have anybody sitting on it.
But the detail of the chairs is a little bit better.
The detail is better. I will agree.
Plus, there is a lifeguard stand off in the distance, which wait, that might actually have already been on the map. I think it actually might have already been on the map. I was crediting people for something that they may have not actually created. But I like this one for sure. It's nice. And here we go. It's time to vote. Everyone looking at this one. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I know people can kind of send their vote in, essentially, maybe once this is over. And I think this
Vote with
actually
your
is
wool.
Technoblades from what we got to see.
So
Vote
I
with
believe
your
that
wool.
I
Okay.
believe that Techno spawned both a wither and an ender dragon over the course of this. So his goals were elsewhere.
Oh, wow.
This
And
is cool.
Great work. Look at that. They even made
Yep.
the tide itself.
They did.
That is awesome.
That's what they were up to.
Certainly gets the detail.
That's nice.
More trees.
Oh, it's got little chairs too. Like,
Props.
just off in the sand.
It's gonna be
Props. And
tough.
they've- yeah,
Do
okay.
people only get to vote once?
Oh, there's a sandcastle here. I like the sandcastle. Let's pan to the right a little bit more. There it is. Nice.
Okay.
Solid. And little cabana areas, right? A little bit of a pathway into the ocean. I love it. Oh, perfect point of view. Now, got some character to it. Even made some windows. This took a lot of time to make. That's for sure. And here we go. On to the next.
I like the pool, like kind of an infinite pool little thing going on.
Listen to that lovely water sound.
You love to hear it. This is a nice little place too.
I like
Oh,
this.
that is a cool view. That right there is what I imagine. Like you go to like a tropical resort. and
Oh,
There it is.
that's it right there.
The Technoblade tribute.
That is impressive, mind you.
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
They even got the colors of his gemstones right.
They did.
That's amazing.
7 points, says Techno.
That is
don't pay
awesome.
attention to the back. It doesn't matter.
Small
It's not
Arms
important.
1, not even complete. Apparently nobody but Techno liked that one.
This one is one of my favorite though, simply because they drew the character. They have the head. That's
This is
also
nice.
over there.
See,
This
as I
is
said,
really
like
nice.
the pail in the sand. That was so clever.
This
And that's
this
a
is one of my
shovel.
fa-
That's a shovel over there as well.
Yeah.
This
That's
is my
nice.
favorite. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorites.
This is
right
for
here.
me like guaranteed top 2. Oh, and here we go. This is TVNR Frags, log.zip.
I love that.
The best design of this all has to be the octopus. Like this is wonderful.
I love the octopus with the hat. This is great. That is so creative. And the villagers in the middle. There's villagers trapped in it.
Yep.
The octopus came and got the villagers.
They're caught in.
One's going into the mouth. Okay. Twitch.
Remarkable.
The fact that they had time to do this is actually pretty crazy to think about because that's all what anyone thinks about. And what is this? Is this like an under the shore type situation? Is this a beach house?
You know, if they had just stuck with this might have won. This is actually a really cool design going under, but
And this is, I think, James Charles, if we remember right. And he was kind of working on that jacuzzi outside. Nice work. Kind of an open house.
I like this. It's quaint.
It is quaint. It is pretty nice.
It's pretty nice.
If you were a Minecrafter, Taylor, if you lived in the world of Minecraft,
Yeah.
would you live in that house?
I would.
I would too. Here we go. This for me, still up as one of the best. I mean, just the detail is lovely. It really is. It's a nice little,
This is nice. This is really nice.
it is.
I love the chairs. Like I said, if people were in them, it would have won. By,
I think
by,
the people
by
would have
far.
taken probably another 15
Oh,
minutes.
it's,
to
well,
do.
100%, right? They're only limited to 10 minutes, but that would have like sold it to me. Now, are we going beach here? Are we going like tropic? Like,
I like the little water slide. If we look actually just off to the right of this perspective,
did they build a boat?
They did. They
This
built
may
a
be
boat.
a dock. Is this a dock?
Oh, it might be a dock.
Oh, there's the boat. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that!
I like this.
Fantastic,
Nice.
creativity.
This is the best one.
Yep,
Sub with Prime.
there you go. I like the detail on the arm. Yep, that was the one. That was the detail that we needed.
Carson, never change.
Like everyone's just jumping all over the letters. Like, oh, this is nice.
If this is the one that wins because everybody's trolling. Oh, wow.
This is cool.
That's
This
a
is
crab.
very-
They made a crab.
They did. That is fantastic. This is really nice. I like this one. This may be in my top. I think this is my top 5. They also have an iron golem just casually walking around. He's enjoying the sun, if that's even possible.
Oh, man.
Yep, here we go. This is where the wait. Where did all the creepers go? There was like 99 creepers over here.
There were a lot of creepers.
Now they're all gone.
Huh. Still like it, though.
I do too.
Oh, man. Is it my creeper beach party? But there's no creeper.
Oh, that unfortunately kind of messes it up a little bit. Oh,
What? We didn't even. Oh, this. Wait, we
There's
didn't
like a
see the-
little bit of stands. Oh, okay. So we
so
were
it's
talking
a
about
lighthouse, right?
we were talking about the updates in terms of the volleyball courses. That's the best volleyball course I think we've had with the stands next to it. Also a lighthouse. Endless possibilities for this one.
This. I feel like the detail in this is really good. The creativity, like the overall theme works.
They made a person.
Oh,
They made
we
a
got to see
person.
this.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Wait, what?
This is great. who's up front?
What? He's
Just enjoying the
he
sun.
even put nipples on the character. Down. The guy just chilling, sunbathing.
Oh, another character. Oh, someone's surfing. This is incredible. Someone is surfing on the waves.
Oh my!
How did we not see this one earlier? This is incredible.
He's even got his little hat and everything.
This is one of my favorites. I think I've said that for
Wow.
each one, but no one did anything close to that.
Is there another crab?
Oh,
It's a crab.
It's an even bigger crab too.
wait, is someone just sitting there? What's the other?
freaking
Is someone
crab.
sitting at a desk? Is
No,
someone just sitting at a
If someone's
desk?
sitting at a desk, I don't know about that one because it makes no sense. What is that? What is
I
that?
think that's a person, but he's burnt, sunburnt.
Oh, what does that say?
Oh no, it's crab rave, but
I gotta say, the crab, very well in detail. We'll just go and call it that. Just call it that. That's all there is to it. Just the crab.
I think this is going from like back, PewDiePie's YouTube
We'll go
video.
move on. No big deal. Go and move on. Keeping them locked in based off the tracks.
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And look, the jelly is the volleyball. That's fantastic. The creativity is just getting better and better.
I'm glad I'm
I
not
would love to
voting.
give every single player
Yeah.
like this exact kind of plot of land and have them do 10 minutes. Like I wonder like what would have all been accomplished.
Could you imagine though? 30
Somebody
minutes.
in
I
the
mean,
lighthouse.
Very
there
clever.
is just
Clever,
overlooking
clever.
everything.
Yep.
That is great.
Another volleyball course made.
The fact this was all created like each
In
one
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
All 10 minutes.
Some questionable, but some of them really amazing.
And Moxie and XQC
Really?
won the build. And this was our big thing we were talking about was can they make up the score in kind of the interval of what was like game kind of 5 to game 7. They're
Yeah.
holding on and they're hanging on very, very well, right? They come through with another victory. They've been winning PvP and now they just won the first ever build battle. I got to say, that's my favorite of the day. Build battle. That was incredible. That was awesome to watch.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The creativity was phenomenal. And I got to say, this is something that I think we have to keep because it's great just trying to guess what they're building. I would love to see a different theme every single week.
Gentlemen, we are set up for a fantastic ending, and surprisingly, the top 3 does not include last week's champion.
That's true, right? Bad boy Halo Skeppy currently hanging out in that 5th place position. Camp Sparkles, Beige Canadians just holding up the rear in terms of the top 4. Moxie XQC, despite the dub, they did move up a position, however, currently sitting at 987, just on the heels of Technoblade and Jay Schlatt. But at that top, You got log.zip and TBNR Frags. Could we see TBNR Frags and log.zip? You were talking about it earlier, Nine. You were saying, hey, do not sleep on this team. Do not be, I guess you could say kind of surprised if they were to be in that top conversation, and they're leading coming into this next game. That's very impressive for those two.
Well, Preston has been a top scorer overall in
Yeah,
this.
right.
Anytime that you score more than Technoblade, you have to start thinking, okay, maybe it doesn't matter what teammate it is, but log.zip has been a very consistent and strong player as well. And earlier I said, maybe last week they didn't do well in the PvP.
Right.
Maybe they just needed a little more time together. I think we're starting to see that.
I think we definitely are. And now going into Spleef, I will say, you did talk about last week, right, competitors of Skeppy, Bad Boy Halo. When it comes to Spleef, they excel at this mode, right? They really do. And collectively as a team, and that's the most important part, right? It's one thing to have one guy who's individually good, but to have both, especially in this game mode, is great because that's a lot of points we're talking about. So when we talk about their overall placement, they're sitting relatively low, 904 points compared to 1,054 for log.zip and TBNR Frags or Preston, but they could clear a lot of points. There's only 2 levels. We'll see who's going to end up on top. 2 levels, 3 games. The snow slowly starts to decay, so you really have to start thinking about your movements.
And only 2 levels, right.
And Skeppy's already down. He's already on the 2nd level.
Oh, people are looking out for him already.
Wow, that could have been really tough off the start.
There goes Fitz.
That's a tough break for Fitz.
It is, and right now one of the players we have to keep an eye on is Jay Schlatt here. We assume that Techno's going to do his job, although he's down here as well. Maybe not. Oh, man, this is already just throwing a wrench in everything we were trying to say.
Everybody's wanting to upgrade their points a little bit. If you're not feeling the most comfortable when it comes into Hunger Games or your current position in the standings, now is your time to make the difference. Try to outlive. Try to, I guess you could say outlet, depending on the lava that exists just at the bottom. You definitely do not want to get tagged up by that. And Carson, just a little bit too close to the outer edge, ends up getting taken down. Travs, a worthy competitor, also ends up getting dropped as well. Papa Latte coming through, and unfortunately will drop. My goodness, everyone we're taking a look at, they're doing some damage, but they're also falling just after they make any somewhat of a presence.
Skeppy was one of those players that dropped down very early on to the 2nd level, but good to note that he's still up. Bad Boy Halo, you could only imagine he's still doing just fine too. Down to 13, getting lasered, getting very close to that edge, falling into the lava with the true potential. But look at Wreck DJ coming into
Jay
the
Schlatt
mix.
just fell.
Did he really?
Yeah,
he did.
That's a tough break.
Top 13. I was going to say top 13, and Techno still here as well. Now Techno in top 10. That is a very good round for them. And I think the real question is now, log.zip and TBNR Frags, how are they going to do? C-Scoop trying to pepper around a little bit as well. Down to the final 5. Techno's got a lot of real estate to work with. Finally going on the offensive.
Ooh.
And that's 1 down there. Can anybody even approach him right now is the question. They are far away and just 3 left.
1 down on his level.
What happens to be Skippy too?
Oh, 1's up top, so. Oh, no.
It's Filza.
Filza. And he is getting lasered at this point. And now, it's awesome staying at the top, but if you don't preserve the snowballs that you have, it's hard to get a couple of them, right? Because everything else is just ice, and you don't get anything from that.
And you see Techno getting in the chat saying, okay, we know where he's at. Target him. Get him out of there. Get him out of that spot, Skeppy. Let's do this mano-a-mano on the bottom stage. And you see them kind of just hanging out, right? They want to try to outwit. And I think the Technoblade is actually a decent amount of blocks away. And he may be someone on an island here. And when those blocks start to break, right when that top layer starts to kind of go away, he could be in an awkward position. All those blocks around him start to get destroyed. Filza, he thankfully does have a parachute just below, but here come a few of the shots. Filza still holding on valiantly. Can he escape? Oh my gosh, this is like an Indiana Jones type run, but he will stay alive and falls into the Temple of Doom. Lovely work, but Technoblade immediately focusing his fire towards Skeppy and makes the jump. I was kind of a little bit curious, would he decide to go ahead and do it, but he will. And Techno getting peppered up quite a bit. Does he have a response? And no! Technoblade goes down and a first game victory from Skeppy.
That's big, right? We talked about him moving up. Skeppy is definitely one of those contenders whenever it comes to this game mode. Bad Boy Halo as well, but I didn't see too much of Bad Boy Halo, did we? I mean, I couldn't even think of a moment where we really kind of got the highlight.
He at least was not in the top,
yeah, that's
10,
tough.
I don't think. So.
No, and that's big again. We said Jay Schlatt going out 13th. That's A-okay. If you're Jay Schlatt and Techno, you're like, Just do that again. That's perfect. That's an additional 20-some points for us. We will take that every day of the week. And again, the question comes right now. We've seen how many points you can start to go, and XQC already here on this bottom level needs to be very, very careful. If he goes down early without earning many points, that would be a big deal. And Bad Boy Halo trying to target him, it looks like.
Gosh.
That was vicious.
Understanding exactly who the big scoring markers are right now. And now again, we'll see. Trying to maintain the snowballs, and I think that's really a strategy we haven't talked a lot about, is you have to make sure that you have enough so that when you do get in these late game fights, you are not left running around. And I think the better players are the ones that are able to do that, and that's why this is such a consistent mode.
Definitely so. Something to keep in mind. There's actually a lot of strategy that goes into this, because a lot of people might not think that is the case. Oh my gosh, Jack Messi was in a world of trouble right there. 3 players were using their Spleefer to try and get the snowballs just below him. Luckily, he escapes, but it is chaos at this bottom level, and this is the moment where you wish you were on the top. XQC, his own little island in the
He and
corner.
Moxie together.
That's good.
They're hanging out.
This is a great strategy.
14 players still left. So, oh no, he's getting peppered.
He's getting tagged up just from the front, and those players exchanging shots from the lower levels. They've got to be careful, right? The lava's heating things up. It's starting to get rid of a little bit of that snow, and I think Moxie actually ended up getting taken down. And now XQC, not a whole lot of blocks left to stand on. And if someone were to destroy a few blocks just ahead, I'm not even sure if he can escape from this position. And Jerome hanging out, much like we saw Filza do in the last round. Not a surprise, right? Not a shock. And I think there may be a few players just off in the distance. It may even be a teammate. No, okay, it's going to be log.zip. So another player in contention, wanting to try and move themselves up the standings. Now's your time to do it. And log.zip actually ends up jumping down from that top layer and trying to gain some snowballs. Jack trying to do the same thing as well. Who's that off in the quarter? I don't actually know who that is. Is Technoblade still up?
No, Techno
okay,
is
he's
down.
taken down. Okay. I'm saying I didn't see him as we were swapping through, but I didn't want to be a little bit ahead of myself and just assume.
I was looking at the chat. Rec DJ was like, "Hey Techno, is your chat nothing but people saying blood for the blood god?" And Techno goes, "Yeah, mostly." He knows his viewers. He knows his chat. You love to see it. Jack, own little island. It's a matter of like how many snowballs. Did someone just drop? Unfortunately, I think someone did. Jerome. Jerome is chilling. He is the definition of chilling.
Mitch, check Discord, please. He has had time to... Oh, my gosh. He has had time to talk in Discord right now.
I love how Beijing Canadian, right? Jerome's old teammate coming through and saying
last week
Jerome doing Jerome things.
Wait, did Jerome just fall? I think Jerome
The
was on the
block.
top level, and while he was
Yep,
typing,
the block.
underneath him ended up fading
Collapsing.
away. It ended up... Oh, my gosh. That is so unfortunate. Well, congratulations to Jack. A well-deserved victory, but one that didn't come without a difficult fight at the end. My goodness.
This is the last Spleef round until we head into Hunger Games. The last chance to get your points. Maybe you're not satisfied with where you are on the leaderboard. This is the time to capitalize and get as many as you possibly can. And Skeppy's a player we want to highlight himself in Bad Boy Halo. He's definitely been lasting for quite some time. Skeppy, though, not trying to attack anybody, going for the route of just bobbing and weaving. I think he wants to try and be as unassuming as possible so later on he could just hang out at the bottom. Look at that view. So many pitfalls that could end your life as quickly as you started it if you drop, especially from the top level.
That's something that we've talked about in TNT Run.
No.
Have to be able to find a safe way down, and that is certainly not an easy thing to do. Already see a few down there. I'm trying to see as many as I can from our top teams. I see XQC off to the left, doing an A-OK for himself right now, though it looks like a few are targeting him there on the side. S Major and Cupquake in a rough spot as well. And now everyone running over to the same side. Generally not what you want to see. You see Techno there at the top fighting his way through and actually doing okay. And now I believe it might just be Skeppy. I think Jerome is up here. And Techno as well. So, this is doing pretty well for them. Moxie hiding up top as well. And I believe one just fell. Oh my gosh, they're just hiding over here. Rec DJ and Moxie. they're not even teammates. And
They
they're
have a
doing
packed
this.
deal. saying,
Someone's
"Hey, do you
shaking
want to
their
fight?"
head.
No, not interested in fighting. Not at all. Skeppy dodging actually a few snowballs. I know there was a few coming his way, so wanted to try and interact from above, but down to our final 7 players.
Oh, hello.
Zerka happens to be one of them, hanging out, enjoying his good old self.
Oh.
Actually taking a few snowballs as well. Has to be careful, right? My goodness. Coming down to the wire. Like we said, a few players still holding on to those top positions, wanting to
Throw things.
fire away.
Patient Canadian, throw things. That is the way to do it.
Throw all of the things.
Throw all of the things.
Trav's true.
Throw yourself. Unfortunately, I think he already did. He's fell into the lava a little bit ago, so 5 players left, 1 player on his own little island. It's a smart thing to do to stay unassuming off in a distance, but yeah, he unfortunately falls down.
I think
and
that was
that's a bad
Vicstar.
thing. Was that Vic on his own little island?
I think it was.
Look at the snipes.
Oh, wow. The double fire.
Skeppy,
Team
let's
shots.
go. The APM on those clicks. Gotta love it. Spleef, sleeve, sleeve.
I was waiting for it. I was getting ready to say. We need the sound effects.
Just 3 left. And, you know, this is huge, too, because we've already seen Techno and Jay Schlatt come up big 1 round. Moxie has been hanging around here as well. You have to assume that Preston and Log did pretty well, at least in one of these games. So this is huge that Skeppy's able to at least keep pace right now. And these are big points as we go into the final round. And Moxie
he's gotta be
hanging on by a thread.
He dodged. He actually stopped his forward movement, waiting for the shots to come in. And, oh, don't tell me he's about to take down Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy by himself. 1 versus 2, and a whole lot of blocks left to stand on. He feels like he's playing TNT Run.
It's interesting because you have to time your jumps because if snowballs are coming your way and you go for a jump, one stuns you, you could fall straight down. Skeppy,
Oh, what a shot!
Are you kidding me?
What a shot! He did it.
Moxie. Moxie
1v2.
coming for the clutch in a 1v2 against arguably one of the best duos when it comes to Spleef, Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo. And to meet both of them at the end, phenomenal work.
What a statement from these guys. We've talked about it, right? Their PvP performance, they come through, they win Hunger Games, they win Kit PvP, they have good performances in a multitude of other different game modes, and they end up winning one of our rounds here in Spleef, while also in the midst of performing a 1 versus 2, taking down the defending champions. This is crazy stuff from them. I mean, they are absolutely performing. And you got to give them all the credit, right? I mean, these guys, they're holding on. Our big question was, okay, you're doing it in PvP. How are you going to do it kind of toward the later game modes? And obviously, Spleef is one of those where we're looking at more of a better performance. But they are hanging on and valiantly right now, despite log.zip and TBNR frags holding that pretty much first place position. They are right there. And look at how many teams are just within a 100-point difference here, 9. My goodness, this is going to be a very exciting final game.
I think this is the first time in maybe 3 weeks that we've been able to say that 4 teams, potentially even 5 if Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy go absolutely crazy, but 4 teams have a legitimate chance of doing this.
Absolutely.
It is all going to come down to one final Hunger Games.
And that's crazy to think of, right? 1 Hunger Games to end it all. And you got to look at our top players. So many of those top players, all 4 teams, maybe even 5, 6 teams, are so good when it comes to Hunger Games.
Yep.
They're all pretty much even in skill overall. They meet each other. That could be a deadly combo, though, right? If they start meeting each other, especially early on. But what was one of the things that we highlighted, especially when we're moving into Run from Lava? XQC Moxie, that was one of their weakest game modes. They did considerably well. I think they ended up getting like, at least 50, 60, maybe even 70 points from it because they made it a little bit decently far. Them winning Build Battle was massive, I believe, right? Because Build Battle gave them a ton of points and then staying alive in Spleef as long as they did to keep it close. They weren't expecting, I wasn't expecting them at least to be in first place from that, but as long as they can keep it close going into Hunger Games, the final game, I think they have a real shot here.
I agree. And look at the storylines that we have right now. We have Preston trying to become the second person to win twice. We have, of course, Techno going for 3 wins. We have XQC and Moxie. They certainly outplaced the 9th place of last time, potentially the first crossover champion. And on the other side, we have Captain Sparkles and Bajan, guys. Finally, maybe taking it for the OG Minecraft YouTubers.
This is crazy. So there's so many storylines to look out for in terms of what we are expecting, but waiting no further. Here we go. It is time for Game 9 of our Hunger Games. We've talked about it. There's 5, 6 teams that are in contention for this championship. Can we see a repeating or will we see a new one? It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a fun one to watch as we load in here for Orient. Every single kill, every single elimination frag, it all matters. And what matters really the most, a lot of the times, is those breakoffs. What kit can you find? What set of armor? What weapons can you find as well? And for those who remember last week, and I'll bring it up, considering that Technoblade is in desperate want of that championship, it would be his third. He did win this exact same game on this exact same map last week, and having a big storm surge kind of toward the end of things.
He did, and you know, one of the other teams that we haven't talked about a lot, C-Scoop and Travs, not really in contention to take this. They would need a miraculous round.
Yeah.
But they can certainly play spoiler, and that's the role that we did see Techno play last time, rode that to a victory in this. So keep an eye out for all these teams. If any one of the teams that we've named, keep an eye on that bottom left. If any one of their players goes down early, you can almost count them out. There are not many people who are able to win this 1v2, v2, v2, however many teams are still left at the time. So just keep that in mind as we go through. And right now, it's the calm before the storm, gentlemen.
Log.zip has a team pushing him, I do believe, from behind. Now, Grande and Yemi, they're going to be eliminated. Drum was going to come in and take out Jay Bounds as Dolan, Dart, Grande, they are now gone. But none of the top contenders finding elims as of yet. So we got to pay attention. But there's Techno getting us started for at least the top contenders. Now, Fitzy going down. And Log.zip, I do believe, is still running away from people who are chasing him from behind. But Techno, 1v2, comes in. Swagger Souls is out. Swagger and Fitz now gone. And there's one more team being eliminated. Techno, top 3, right? 1,144 points. He could come through big.
And we've seen in this game mode, right, it's the team that gets the early elims and starts to build that early lead. That means that they get better gear. That means that they can ride that momentum. We saw that earlier with Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy tying, even though they really didn't get to play the entire last half of the game because they got so many early elims. So keep an eye there. You see best gear right now, though, is Preston. TBNR frags. Techno gets another.
I'm going to point out, as Techno finds that, he's within about 10 points of first place right now. He was down 46 coming into this. He's already found 3. That's 30. Oh, my gosh. This is going to be close. This is going to be fun. Here comes J-Schlatt, Technoblade. There is another. They've probably tied it, if not already have the advantage as of this time.
Who's this off in the distance?
I think that might have been Junkie.
I think it
so.
was Junkie.
And he'll go and get a dodge. I'm not sure if they actually spotted him.
I couldn't imagine they did because they would have went on the attack. There's no way they would have let that player just stand behind.
And I got to say, though, all things considered, the way that Technoblade and Co. have been playing this, I was going to say, we need to see TBNR frags and Log.zip start to change things up. So based on what we know right now, I think with that elim from TBNR frags, they are leading by just around 3 to 4 points right now. How crazy is this game? We need to see a dominant early start, and that seems to be what the strategy is right now from Techno and Co. And here comes Bad Boy Halo, each and every top team starting to throw their hat in the ring, as that's going to be a huge elim for them as you want to keep being in that conversation. There's Bad Boy Halo again. Also C-Scoop, we talked about he and Travs a little bit down, but they can play spoiler. That 6th place position is one that could come, and players, everyone, trying to dodge the massacre that we could be seeing come through from Technoblade. As there's another one from Bad Boy and Skeppy.
That's massive.
And here's Moxie and XQC. We talked about these guys, right? They're in 2nd place. They were in 2nd place coming into this game, and they're going fishing, gentlemen. They have no issue wanting to go for elims right now. It's all about just the end game for them.
And that's fine, but they got to slay out. We've already
They're probably in
seen
3rd right now.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So they go from 2nd now down to 3rd, maybe
Oh
potentially
my
4th,
gosh.
depending. As it's a mad dash for players just up ahead, and that's going to be Techno and J-Schlatt. And they are going to be coming into a 1v1 and be able to potentially take off both. As the engagement will shortly go down. Techno just trying to find a good angle. That's going to be a solid hit, knock him into the water. Then we might be seeing J-Schlatt and Techno break up right here, knowing there was 2 solos, but actually it looks like they just chose to disengage altogether.
Oh, that's
they're trying
twice,
to go for middle.
They are trying to go for middle, and this is an important moment for them. You see they're going after Connor here, who's very... Oh, this could be 2 for Techno. He's waiting for J-Schlatt. Very wise to do so there, not wanting to go down unnecessarily. Connor very weak. Another pick for Techno. I think that means they're in the lead right now.
That is. I believe that should be based off of my calculations, which can't be incorrect, but I'm almost positive that should put them in the lead just over TBNR Frags and Co. by about maybe 4 points.
Handfuls of points. And this is where survival bonus starts to come in too. Now, again, TBNR Frags, they've been alive for long enough that that's able to happen.
Down. That's Skeppy.
But still, they're chasing in the middle right now. If they win this fight in the middle, if they get this that's Captain Sparkles there, and he's not well geared up. Going after James Charles right now. Gonna run back towards middle. If they're able to get this right here, these enchantments, this might be what they need to get this win.
We know Techno, right? He loves to lock down center control. He goes for the enchantment table at all times. That's something that he's a powerful duo at doing. But look at this. Captain Sparkles, Beijing Canadian, off in the distance. They are watching, waiting for their opportunity to go and enchant their items themselves. But does Techno and J-Schlatt chill out and just relax together?
Well, they already have an enchanting table right here. If you look just to the left, they actually have the opportunity to enchant it already. So
they're just waiting for the opportunity to attack then.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that might be the fight that determines all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they might actually go on for the prowl. They at least want to try to distance them off, get them away from this point of view. And Beijing knowing exactly what to do when Techno is engaging. Back up, he does have one Ender Pearl. Is it worth it to get someone like Beijing already out of the game? Beijing Vince to go and toss that one out, but my goodness, you can't shift when you're underneath the water. And here comes the shark. Technoblade not slowing down and just trying to keep Quackity in the water. And there will be another silence coming in. Technoblade, another Elim, dominating everybody in sight, holding on to that middle position. And even the best players, even the teams that are holding on to these top positions, they are backing out as XQC is down. But what a play from Moxie!
Wow.
What a play! Perfect timing. Preston had no idea what was coming toward him, and Log.Zip has nothing to work with. A few arrows. Moxie decides to go and fire in the first, and this was a team coming into this that was in a very high position. Moxie and XQC in second, and Moxie's holding it down for the roster right now. What an insane play that was, guys.
Yeah, amazing.
But this is so scary because that means that now two of those teams, our top two teams, are down to one player. It's just now Beijing and Captain Sparkles and Techno and J-Schlatt of the top teams that have a chance.
Oh, and here we go.
And here's the fight.
This is the one we've been waiting on. Beijing takes down J-Schlatt, and Technoblade fires through the arrow before the Ender Pearl can land. Beijing will at least escape for now, but all of our top teams, we've discussed it, losing one of their players, as we have pretty much a 4-team 1v1, and Beijing is not too far away. Techno has to be super careful. I think that he believes Beijing is out of here, and he is not far behind. Regardless, though, what an interval. What have we just seen? And James Charles, not a clue, not an idea, but here comes another team. C-Scoop Travs, this is not a roster, not a duo that you want to mess with. And Technoblade, aware of the push.
Oh,
Team R Frags, there goes Moxie, so they are out. They're done. No chance of winning first place here for Moxie. And for XQC, a valiant attempt. And you see Technoblade trying to place down this TNT, trying to go for the 3P, and there we go, trying to single out C-Scoop while his teammate still runs off. They should try to be double engage him, but no, they're not worried about the final boss. And here comes the kill, one onto James Charles, and Technoblade, momentum, firing away the arrows.
Tough situation for a lot of players here. It comes down to just one for a lot of teams in order to solidify a first-place victory. One guy you have to watch out for is Techno. As more engagements going down, a duo onto a solo at this point. Techno, he'll go ahead and back off. Gapple, luckily, going to give him some extra health plus regen. That is exactly what he needs in this current point in time. We're down to just 6 teams, and the zone has moved in.
And this is so scary because this is the part where, again, now even the top 3 teams bonus starts to be a big factor here. TBNR Frags is still alive, and I guarantee all he's thinking about right now is survive.
Yeah.
Those points might be what's big, and we said the team that could potentially play spoiler, C-Scoop and Travs, in a way, get to decide who wins this right now. It's whichever one they find. And Techno hanging around the middle here. I think he's finally done fighting that 1v2. He's hunting a couple, and I think he sees them.
Log
That's
that
big.
zip.
That's big. There goes Log.
What's so crazy about this is Captain Sparkles, Bajan Canadian,
Bajan!
we're just behind Techno as an engagement goes down, and Techno, he's going to take out Jack. Jack is eliminated, and now another engagement for Techno. He's going to go in and back off for the time being.
Oh, someone's trying to cut him off? Someone's trying to come off right now. It's actually Bajan.
Now Bajan's running back towards the middle. That was a great opportunity for Bajan to get that.
I think they're worried about the three-peat. They're worried about this team
You
of
have
Super
to be.
Travs as they have caused a total disarray with this one and trying to single players out, trying to shut down Bajan Canadian, and he has that flint and steel ready to go. The Flames not really doing a whole lot of damage from there, but Technoblade trying to hold on to that center position, taking some damage, tossing out the TNT, as that will actually push one player right into the hands of Bajan Canadian. And what Super Travs and Co. want to do, they want to have that 1v2 position locked down, and this could be their opportunity. Locked down to 7 hearts, and there we go. Super Travs takes down Techno, Bajan takes down C-Scoop, and now we've got ourselves a mono-e-mono situation.
Yes.
Did Travs and C-Scoop do enough? Did Bajan Canadian hold on for just enough amount of time?
What it comes down
Or
to.
did Log.Zip and TBNR Frags, did they get enough survival? Did they get enough elims to hold on? So many storylines in this 1v1 fight is coming down to bows. It's coming down to the accuracy, and Bajan says, okay, it's time for the engagements. This one is over. Mr. Minecraft gets it done for himself and Captain Sparkles. But now, the questions start to come about. We're all dumbfounded. What is the scoreline coming into this? As we'll look through the replays, one of the most exciting Hunger Games that we have seen in 6 weeks of this tournament. From start to finish, it gave us a ton of different incredible moments. And my gosh, did he get it done? That's the question. Did he get it done? Did he accomplish it? And Moxie, like we talked about, he and the boys, he and XQC, they were trying to lock it down. And what a play this was to take down TBNR Frags, the player who was sitting in that first place position just time after time after time. Lovely shots from Technoblade. This 1v1 at the end, though, was just incredible as it came down to the wire. But it was Travs who tried to do all he could. He took down Technoblade, which is a victory all in itself. But that 1v1 engagement came through. Bajan, Mr. Minecraft, we talked about it, the guy who's been holding on, keeping the scene alive, gets it done here at the end for Captain Sparkles. And here we go. Who has won it all? Who got it done? And it is Technoblade and J-Slat.
He's the greatest.
What? He got it done just by a few. Log.Zip and TBNR Frags. I know I was reciting the score, but look how close this was. Look how close the scores are as Technoblade, the first person to reach 3 championships in Minecraft Monday history. It's taken some time. There's been a 3-week interval, but he finally got it done here, guys. Well deserved. And we were discussing coming into the broadcast today, does he have the chance? Does he have the capability to do it? It's clear that he does.
Obviously, so Techno clearly an unstoppable force. You heard the action called quite well as Techno comes through with the victory. 1,280 points to take it over Log.Zip and Preston with 1,262 points. Let's look at 11 through 21 and see who was over on the bottom side. Well, Connery Pence, James Charles at 11th. Not bad at all for them. And even further down, you see a lot of familiar faces. But I will say, still, some impressive results. Very close all the way down.
Yeah, for sure, right? Let's go and take a look at our single-player scores, too. I mean, this was just crazy to look at. Technoblade far and above the best single player that we saw today here, 9.
Yes, but look at number 3. Moxie,
Yep.
right there. There were less than 60 points separating 4th place from 1st place. Anytime you have something that close, you know a lot of players had to come up big for their teams. Forginal, like I said, one of our late additions, playing very well. Bajan Canadian and Captain Sparkles right in the middle there, putting it down for their team as well. So close to clutching it out there at the end. But at the top, once again, guys, Techno never dies.
Never dies. He's literally is like one of the best players ever, not only to grace Minecraft Monday, but to grace Minecraft in general. But what a performance from all players tonight. I mean, come on. You talk about Preston coming through, Log.Zip. I'm proud of XQC and Moxie, though, to finish up top 5. That's exactly where I at least I put them
Your
at. That's
sleeper
where
pick.
It's my sleeper pick. I put them at top 5, and they ended up placing at least in 4th place. I'm very satisfied with that result.
100%, right? I think that we were discussing like they won a ton of different games. They were dominating when it came down to not just PvP, but also when it came down to the build battle. I got to say, I really wasn't sure what to think when they came into the competition last week, how they would really do, but they've came through. They've impressed, and they are without question one of the best teams that we have. Like we discussed, Beige Canadian Captain Sparkle's coming through with a very solid placement as well. I know the entire Minecraft community was really excited to see those guys kind of duel it up, be hand in hand, and they did not disappoint. But like we talked about, man, this was by far for me one of the most intense, one of the most memorable moments that we will see in Minecraft Monday history. Technoblade finally capturing that third title. That's insane.
And he did it over the most stacked field that I think we've ever seen in terms of all the teams that were able to come out today and play well. And we kept talking about all these different players and all these different game modes, whether it was XQC and Moxie sticking together when it mattered most in Spleef. You know, they scored big well there. They did well enough in parkour to keep them close. But at the end, we always say it comes down to the final Hunger Games, the best PvP. And again, we say it so many times. It's Techno.
It is. It's Techno. Techno the Pig, Techno the Blade, whatever you want to call him, man of many names. But, man, that now earned the title of champion yet again. After a few weeks, he manages to accomplish it. What a tournament. What a fantastic moment this is. I know we all have smiles on our faces right now in terms of what just went down, but truly a tournament to remember. But, guys, any closing thoughts before we round out week number 6 here?
Obviously, another great week coming through. I love the new game modes that we brought in, right? Speaking of build battle as well as kit PvP, it was exciting to watch, to say the least. Build battle, I hope we bring that back for next week because, trust me, it's only going to get even more creative and entertaining as these players know and maybe lock down even strategies of what they're going to build beforehand. But next week's going to be even better than this week.
Will indeed. And can we keep these teams? If this
I'd
is
love
what
that. I'd like that, yeah.
this is what this cast of teams promises us every week, I just want to stay with this. It's always a
That's
toss-up
fair.
who's going to win. So I love that. I love the new games, like you said there. And thank you so much, everyone who is watching at home, continuing to grow Minecraft Monday. We said earlier there are stories, another chapter of that story written today. And I just want to thank everyone who stuck around with us for this long.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in here when it comes down to this week. It was a week that, like I said, we're not going to forget for a long time, that's for sure, but very well executed, very well said in terms of the game modes, the audience. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you guys. So massive thank you to you for keeping the Minecraft Mondays up, keeping them alive, and allowing for us to experience new and awesome moments every single week. But hey, that's going to do it, right? Technoblade capturing his third championship along with a number of different awesome placements, much like myself. I agree with 9 in terms of, maybe it'd be a good idea to keep a few of these teams. That'd be nice, right? One of the closest, if not the closest Minecraft Monday to date. And we cannot wait to see what happens for week number 7. But hey, that's going to do it for this week. We really appreciate everyone for tuning in, for everyone who did come out, whether you start in the beginning or just caught the end of the Hunger Games. We appreciate you guys for being involved. But for the entire UMG studio, for 9-Hole Grains, Reflections Noble, myself, Landon Lando Sanders, we appreciate you all for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.